From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports 1140. It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. Get out of here, Jason. Jason Ross, that is. Get out of here, Christopher Lawn. I'll see you later, Jason. At River Cats. Get out of here, Christopher Lawn. Stiles and Watkins time. Taking you up to 2 p.m. Chris Watkins, Nate Littlefield, Alan Stiles. We have more tickets. Family 4-pack, UC Davis, Cal Poly. Chris, going to be 80 degrees. Maybe I'll see you outside in the streets. UC Davis, going to be a great time. So we have those tickets for you in an hour. We're not making you wait till 1. We are not making you wait till 1. You know why? Because promotion said we're not going to make them wait till 1. So 11 o'clock, we have those tickets for you, family 4-pack with parking. Do not forget, it's with parking as well. So that's coming up at 11 o'clock. And boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you. Normally, Chris, Tuesdays, the alarm goes off. I don't want to turn it off. I just want to snooze it. But today, with everything that's going on, the Jets fire Robert Saleh. So the Niner fans are saying, come on home, Nick Sorenson. What would you even do with Nick Sorenson if you brought Saleh back? That's not happening. We got some information from Mike Silver, so we'll break that all down for you. The Chiefs, are they really going to do this? I saw a tweet, Chris. It said, the worse the Chiefs get, the more dangerous they are. Now you got Juju Smith-Schuster running around. Then there's also a play where I saw Juju Smith-Schuster. He got dinged up. I think he stayed in the game. And Derek Carr. We took calls the first 2 weeks from Raider fans. You shouldn't have moved off of Derek Carr. Well, we have some numbers here that we'll break down about 10 minutes. Derek Carr records after he goes 2-0. Spoiler alert, not very good. Not very good. We also have a Brock Purdy theory that I cooked up yesterday. Okay, I saw a couple rumblings about it. We want to know what you feel about it. Could it possibly be true? And oh, by the way, speaking of the Raiders, they find themselves with Davante Adams in a familiar place. Limbo. The two teams that Davante wants to go to, one of them, Derek Carr, he said his oblique is quote-unquote not good. Look, I'm happy for Hainer getting in, Bay Area guy, but where was my guy Spencer Rattler? Okay, not the time or the place. The other team that Davante Adams is interested in, the Jets, have just admitted that they are not – first they were a quarterback away. Now they thought they were a wide receiver away. Apparently they're a coach away because they don't even have a coach. So what are the Raiders going to do with one Davante Adams? And we got some Kings stuff for you as the preseason kicks off tomorrow. Kings are featured in an NBA GM survey. So we will tell you who that is and where they are featured. And, of course, we have our NFL Blitz and top stories later in the show. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
Great. Yeah. I'm excited for this GM survey. It's always my favorite day of the year. It kind of really kicks off the NBA season. You get the insight into what GMs across the league are saying. And there's always like 2 or 3 things that end up being massive stories that come out of this. And this year, I didn't really see anything that was too salacious, but there's definitely some Kings things that I think a lot of people are going to be surprised and excited to hear that maybe from the outside looking in, a lot of people are paying attention to what the Kings are doing, and, definitely in some aspects, people are still blind. So I think it's just a really good look into how the league is really viewing things. And, there's definitely some funner questions in there that we'll get to at some point today. But, yeah, got a loaded show today.
Jets fire Robert Saleh. He was hired by the Jets in 2021. He had a 20-36 record as the team's head coach. That is .357. And now that's sick if you are a batter in Major League Baseball, but not quite if you are a head coach. The Jets started 6 different quarterbacks in Saleh's 4 seasons. Zach Wilson, hide your moms, Mike White, Rodgers, Joe Flacco, Trevor Siemian, and Tim Boyle. Saleh's firing marks the first time in owner Johnson's 25-year tenure that he has fired a coach in the middle of the season. Saleh becomes the third NFL coach to be fired after losing a game in London. According to ESPN research, defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich will be the interim head coach moving forward. And the one note that we saw, Chris, which I thought was interesting, is that Robert Saleh was escorted by security out of the building. Now, Nate found this for us during the pre-show. Adam Gase was not escorted by security. Because at first when Nate said it, I said, oh, it's probably just protocol. Not that I would know. Chris Watkins had some jokes for me on that one. Not that I would know. And then we found out that Adam Gase was not removed. And it came out, Chris, that Robert Saleh was very surprised at this whole situation. So I'm kind of thinking that things might have got a little bit, as I had some tapatio with my breakfast burrito this morning, little tapatio Tuesday out there for the Jets, Chris. I think it got a little spicy. And
you think during the firing,
there's got to be
during
video.
The surprise firing of their coach?
You said there was a video on something that Colin had. Is it him being escorted out?
No.
Okay.
No. There was no video of on the scene or anything like that.
Okay.
I got a quick question for you guys. I was talking to a Jets fan downstairs. Obviously, the Jets, most likely the number one target for Davante Adams, right? We have Davante Adams canceling his appearance today with Kay Adams. Get into that later. But do you think this is a little crazy? Do you think part of the deal was like Davante's like, I'm not going there unless Saleh's gone?
No,
I don't think so.
Okay, I just thought I'd ask. Okay.
I don't think
that's insane.
I know that is insane.
Don't even have a head coach at that. Remember that with the Nets? Yeah. Steve Nash our head coach, but we're kind of just all coaching. That's what it would be like. Let's just all be head coach.
Did they actually say that, or that was just the feeling, right? That wasn't like
no, they said that.
I don't remember.
They didn't say that.
What did they say, Chris?
They didn't say, we're all kind of the coach. They definitely said Steve Nash is the coach.
That was definitely the feeling. I got that for sure.
I'll find it. But anyway, Robert Saleh out, and it's just been a complete mess for the Jets. And this is the thing where these guys try to have these renaissance situations. Would it have been better last season? I mean, you start off with the Hassan Reddick drama, which again, that was an issue. And last season, obviously, Rodgers gets hurt. We think that he's going to, they're going to be a big player in the AFC, and things that just went south. What do you do if you're Aaron Rodgers in this situation? What do you have, 2 years left, including this? I mean, including this season, he probably has one more season left, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely on Aaron Rodgers in the sense of there's no way that he wasn't consulted about this move happening. I mean, this is, I really just don't understand this move at all. It doesn't make any sense to me. We've talked about it in the past where with Robert Saleh on the hot seat, like I don't see how any of the Jets' lack of success, if you even would call it that, is on Robert Saleh. Last year, he goes 7-10 and has Zach Wilson as his quarterback. Zach Wilson, we were joking in the pre-show, Zach Wilson's like the third string quarterback right now for the Denver Broncos behind Bo Nix. I don't understand how that's his fault. If anything, it's an accomplishment that you're that close to 500 with such an incompetent quarterback. Mm-hmm. And then this year, you mentioned the Hassan Reddick thing, and it's not the defense that has been the problem, which is Robert Saleh's calling card. And so I don't understand how he's being blamed for the Jets' lack of success. I understand that the Jets are one of the most dysfunctional franchises, frankly, in sports, in American sports, but this is a move out of a dysfunctional playbook. Like, I don't understand. I get that there's a sense of urgency. I get that this season has a lot of weight to it and there needs to be ramifications for it, but I don't necessarily think it's Robert Saleh's fault. I would have gone with the route of acquiring Davante Adams before I try and move on from Robert Saleh. And we've seen tons of numbers that show that the defense has actually been really good. Ben Solak, I pulled this. Since 2021, Robert Saleh's first season in New York as the Jets head coach, they're first in points per drive, they're first in EPA per play, and third in success rate, despite being on the field for the fourth most snaps during that stretch. The defense has been phenomenal under Robert Saleh, even when they were bad last year. Mm-hmm. I don't see how the Jets' results from this season has led to, Robert Saleh is the one who needs to go. Unless, again, I think this is just from not necessarily Aaron Rodgers walking into the owner's office, but again, I think that he was probably consulted and definitely gave the okay. We saw them arguing the other day on the sideline with that weird push moment where, Saleh looks like he's trying to hype up Aaron Rodgers, and then Aaron's like, calm down. It was a really weird moment. I think the relationship between those two is probably a really big reason why he's not coaching anymore.
Yeah, and again, it's one of those things. You have a friend who it's just never their fault, right? They got the worst luck in the world. Their boss is annoying. Where they live just has issues, and it just seems like they're the only person that seems to just get this bad luck. And there are people like this that pop up, Chris, from time to time. And Aaron Rodgers is one of those people. For a while, I think in his later years, this guy has chilled out. But Kevin Durant is also one of those people where something just always seems to happen, right? And I'm not saying that Salah is perfect, and as we always say, or at least as I always say, we'll see what the league thinks about Robert Saleh moving forward, right? I mean, we saw Steve Wilkes; he's not in the league right now. So what do they think about Robert Saleh? And there's always something with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, there's got to be a list, Chris, of players that are ridiculously talented, but I don't know that I would want to be their coach, right? And Aaron Rodgers, and some people would put LeBron on that list, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But Aaron Rodgers is at the top of that list because it's just not going to end well. It's not going to end well at all. So, as much as I agree with you on the Salah thing, I'm curious to see what happens next with him. But we know this is who Aaron Rodgers is. He's going to point the finger. He's just kind of his own guy. I guess we saw he's going to be on McAfee tomorrow. So we'll see what he has to say to McAfee. He wants to go. This is where Aaron Rodgers does his best. This is where he does his best work. At this point, it's not on the football field. It's his brand and getting people to get that appointment television, because everybody's going to have to see Aaron Rodgers tomorrow. And as soon as something, when he was in Tahoe, I can't wait to play with Davante again. He is better at creating drama right now than playing football. And I'm the one who I believe, off the top of my head, I think I had him top 5 going into the season as QB. That's one of my worst takes so far, and I got a ton of them. So what happens next? You have a couple years left at most. All right, and last but not least, as we know Niner fans are curious, Mike Silver suggests he's talked with Salah and he won't be looking for a job during the season. This is what Mike Silver said. As for the question 49ers are asking, Robert Saleh plans to regroup, go on vacation with his family. It's an expensive vacation. He got some kids, and prepare for the next hiring cycle when he should be in demand as a defensive coordinator. He has no plans to join anyone's staff during the 2024 season should an opportunity arise. So that is where we're at, Niner fans. You're stuck with Sorenson for now, but we'll see how that all ends. Coming up next, are the Chiefs really going to do this? Really? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business calm at ooma.com/radio.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
It's the Big Sky home opener for the Sacramento State Hornets this Saturday. 6 p.m. kickoff versus Eastern Washington. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
I had to pull receipts. Ward had me in the sack chat, but I already had him up, Ward. You know how I get down. Chris, this is from 2020. This is what Kyrie said on Durant's podcast. I don't really see us having a head coach, Irving said on Durant's new podcast, The Execs. KD could be a head coach. I could be a head coach. Durant followed up by agreeing with Irving, calling it a collaborative effort and naming assistant and former interim head coach Jacques Vaughn as someone who could fill the role any given day.
I'm glad we clarified that. That was super important that we clarified.
Well, if you're going to tell me that something's incorrect, I'm going to defend it. Don't say something is wrong if it's not wrong, and then get mad at me. They get mad at me for finding it. Come on now, Chris. All right,
okay.
All right, let's get to the Chiefs. Are the Chiefs really going to do this? As at this point, guys, they continue to just drop like flies. It ultimately doesn't matter. I thought initially, and I picked the Saints. Did I think the Saints were going to win? Not particularly, but I had the week already sewed up, and I just felt like they're not going undefeated. It's one thing to three-peat, but it's another thing to go undefeated when you're missing most of your wide receiver, most of your position, your skill position group, and it didn't matter, Chris. They still got it done. 26-13, Derek Carr, obviously, like we said, I mean, by the time he was out, I guess they still had an opportunity, but it really wasn't going to make a difference. Jake Haener comes in towards the end, but doesn't really matter. The Saints get it done, and it's to the point now where I just don't know when they're going to lose. Their next game, by the way, October 20th, so they get a super bye, the Chiefs do, and they probably still won't be healthy, but their next game will be against those San Francisco 49ers, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they're just going to roll ahead. I mean, I think the score kind of didn't do them justice yesterday. I didn't really feel like the Saints stood much of a chance in that game. They just continue to roll on, and, Kareem Hunt steps up and is a serviceable running back as they are down to Carson Steele. And, I know Clyde Edwards-Helaire is right around the corner. Yeah, it's crazy that they keep on chugging along, and Travis Kelce is looking like he's kind of rounding back into form as he had a big day yesterday. And they were running formations yesterday where they literally were running like 3-4 tight ends on the field at the same time. I don't really think it matters who's on the field, who's catching the ball for Patrick Mahomes. I mean, clearly, like you said earlier, Juju had a massive night last night. I just think that they have figured out how to put guys in proper positions, and I think the threat of Patrick Mahomes is good enough to keep defenses at bay. And I think it's very clear now that they really don't need to go out there and get a Davante Adams, but they can continue to win ugly. And I think that's the most impressive thing about this team, and the thing that makes them so scary. And the Niners saw it firsthand in that Super Bowl. If they can keep things to a one-score game, they have the most dangerous weapon possibly in sports right now, especially in clutch moments. And I think that's kind of their formula, is just, hey, we're going to keep the opponent's score down, and we have faith that Patrick Mahomes can get us over 20 points. And as long as we hold teams for the most part under 20, we think that our offense can just be good enough to squeak all these games out. And depending on the opponent, I just think that it's clear that the Chiefs have kind of not figured it out, but like it really is like they're playing chess, not checkers. They're not really going for the explosive plays. They're not going to put up the biggest numbers. They're just cliche as it sounds, they're just trying to win football games. And it's really clear that they've figured out the formula of how to make that happen.
Well, I think what we have here is the Chiefs defense has gone from throughout this whole, it's crazy that we're talking about something happening throughout the dynasty, but the Chiefs defense throughout the dynasty has gone from opportunistic and I guess timely to just very good. It's a very good defense. Yeah. It's more than opportunistic. It's more than that. So with that being said, now with the offense taking somewhat of a step back, now all of a sudden, well, we can lean on our defense and Steve Spagnuolo. And anytime you think, all right, this is a team that might be able to get the Chiefs because they just have more firepower. It just doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. And by the way, it is about the Chiefs, but Derek Carr, like I said, we have these numbers. Chris, what he is doing when the blitz comes, I've just never seen anything like it. I mean, they didn't even know. The broadcast didn't even know on that first interception if he was trying to throw it out of bounds and didn't get enough on it, or just was trying to play 3 flies up. Nobody has any answers. Nobody has any answers for that. And getting back to the Chiefs, Kareem Hunt, who is bounced around practice squads, comes out yesterday, Chris, and how many yards did he have? He balls out, and he has himself, let's see here, 102 yards. You are missing Pacheco. You are missing multiple guys. You haven't had Hollywood Brown. All right, you lose Rasheed Rice, and you let Kareem Hunt rush for 102 yards. Like, I just don't understand how that happens. And by the way, Juju Smith-Schuster, we all get on him for TikToking. You let him break off 130 yards. I mean, it's to the point now where I know we were having the conversation of Mahomes. It's always been Mahomes and everyone else, but is it possible that gap has gotten even wider? You sit there and Josh Allen has a good couple weeks and Lamar has a good couple weeks and Joe Burrow's going to bounce back. No, nobody else on that Chiefs team is 5-0 right now besides Patrick Mahomes. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean that defense and Patrick Mahomes definitely are the reason why. I mean, they have not lit the world on fire. It's been, like you said, I mean, it's been different guys every single week. It was, Rasheed Rice definitely was huge, but then he's not here this week, and I won't say they didn't miss a step, but I mean, again, Juju steps up, Travis Kelce steps up, Kareem Hunt runs for over 100 yards. It's just. They are an absolute machine, and I think if it's them in Minnesota as the 2 undefeated teams, like, they are not the same. Let me tell you, I watch all the Vikings games, and the way that the Chiefs do things, it's just a little bit more scalable. It's a lot more proven, and I think I just kind of don't see an end to it, right? Like, I think a lot of people say, okay, this thing's going to end when Travis Kelce's starting to show some signs of wear. I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot of conversation about, and we don't have to have it in week 5, but there's a lot of just general conversation about where Patrick Mahomes' career is going to end. And is he just going to kind of run off a ton of Super Bowls here? And I just think every single year it's going to be like LeBron, where he might not win it every single year, but he's going to be in it. He's going to be in the conversation, and everything's going to go through him. And it really kind of doesn't matter the quality of the receivers and the other, as long as he's got a good line and that defense can still hold guys like they are. I just think that the sky's the limit for this team. And, we'll see if Spagnuolo can hold on to that job, or if he's going to get a head coaching job somewhat soon. But that's the only way I can see the wheels falling off of this thing.
925, not happy with us, and that's been a theme this week. It's called coaching. Then another text. It's not just Mahomes. Then another text. It's the coaching. Another text. It's the coaching. So yeah, I guess. So answer this one for me, 925. Who is the quarterback that's doing it? Since it's all Andy Reid now.
Yeah.
All right. And 925, I'm pretty sure you're a Raider fan. So I think that might be part of it as well. Speaking of the Raiders, Chris, and we get to the Saints. By the way, the Saints helmets, those were sick.
Yeah, they were interesting. I couldn't figure out if I liked them or not. The color scheme was interesting. The middle strip was interesting.
I thought I liked that, and then they started playing, and I didn't like it.
The NFL uniforms this year are great. Atlanta's are great.
I like the throwbacks.
Yeah, what the Jets are wearing are great. I don't Miami.
What did you guys think about the Texans ones?
Oh, those are bad.
It's funny because I think we all have a buddy who that's their thing.
Yeah, that's their style.
And I immediately got a text from that buddy. Fire. These Texans unis are sick.
It's like Affliction. Remember that MMA shirt?
I do.
That's kind of
you
what
definitely
it was
had
like.
a couple.
Oh yeah,
tap out. There was a big tap out.
I was a big tap out.
Tap
guy.
out and Sobeys.
Yeah.
Derek Carr. Guys,
Sobeys.
Derek Carr. Did you have the shoes that you could grind?
Oh,
The
soap shoes.
The
You know, you would
soaps.
know soap shoes.
I never had them. I would
Sorry?
just wet the bottom of my feet and do it without it.
Sonic the Hedgehog had them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were cool. They're pre-Heelys.
Chris, you don't know about the soap?
Chris,
No.
you've never seen the guy on
No.
YouTube who's the soaper?
No.
Well, I
like-
haven't seen that.
No.
but-
Who, like, they have rails built into like the arch of your shoe, and you jump down and grind rails. with
Yeah,
them.
it was very unsafe.
No.
That's what started parkour, I think.
It's a little before our time.
No,
I just know
never
just-
saw those.
Where's
Those are like
Verlon?
an absolute
Verlon's got
nightmare.
some soap
Verlon's
somewhere.
wearing soaps today. I saw him grinding down the stairs here.
Yeah.
No way.
Derek Carr, guys, he's 2-0 a lot. It never ends well. In 2017, he started 2-0. He ended 6-9. In 2020, he started 2-0. He ended 8-8. In 2021, he started 2-0. He finished 10-7. In 2023, he started 2-0. He finished 9-8. And he started 2-0 this season. We'll see how it ends. So we're wishing the best for Derek Carr and that oblique injury. Real quick, I know we got to get to the other side. The drama, more drama yesterday, Chris, as people thought that when Derek Carr, did you see that clip when he said, I told you after that long pass to
I did not see that.
Yeah,
No.
Shadeed. Did you see that, Nate? So basically,
That put me over at my prop.
Great.
yes, it did. Basically, people were saying Derek Carr was saying that to the offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak,
Like
saying,
I told you I can throw deep.
something like that. Something like that.
Interesting.
They
Yeah.
had a pretty
Interesting.
extensive breakdown too on the broadcast between Buck and Aikman about how Aikman was saying it's a good system for him when he gets to the line to have everything in place,
Yeah.
and that he doesn't have to make a ton of changes and stuff. And maybe Carr just really doesn't like that. I think it's the first time in his career where he's kind of locked into a play
Yeah.
and isn't really supposed to do too much out of it.
Hey, whatever works, and it worked for a little bit, but not
Keep
for
it simple,
long
I
enough.
guess.
Coming up next, we're going to keep this Top of TO Tuesday going. I got a theory on Brock Purdy. Am I crazy? Is he trying to get the bag? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.
Spins away from the defender. In the paint. Soft floater. That's a great play by De'Aaron Fox.
Hey, Sacramento, it's De'Aaron Fox, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday forecast looks bright and sunny. We'll have light winds throughout the daytime, and it's still going to feel very summer-like with high temperatures today in the mid to upper 90s, expecting overnight lows to drop back to lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
I didn't expect to, but I need to get a new health insurance plan. The good news is I found Health Markets. Health Markets lays out plans available to you. They have access to more than 200 carriers across the country. And if you need help, you can just speak with a licensed insurance agent.
For real personalized service, call Health Markets at 855-680-8222 to speak to a licensed insurance agent. That's 855-680-8222. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency nationwide except in Massachusetts. Paid actor per trail.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Came across something yesterday, guys. As Brock Purdy has been playing well. Whoa!
My water just exploded.
What is happening?
Shout out to YouTube, who probably just got that. Probably didn't look great. But yeah, there we go.
Cut it, Nate.
Hey, it's a splash zone.
Cut it, Nate.
That was not great. Let me tell you.
Okay.
That's how it
Splash
feels.
zone.
Yeah. How about that, Cannon?
All right. The 209. I laughed at the Chiefs line continues to hold for Mahomes because they literally do. Are you guys? What are we doing? Did people do this with Brady? I mean, I guess they did. There was.
Oh, people hate it.
Yeah, there's always something. It's just. I guess fans are funny because it's you want greatness, but then when you see greatness, LeBron flops.
Yeah.
Steph Curry. You know, anybody could be Steph. You want greatness, and then when greatness is in front of you, you make excuses for the greatness that you're watching.
You want greatness for yourself. You don't want greatness for others. For your team, you want greatness, right?
Stop hating.
Sure.
That's what I got to say. Stop hating.
Right?
Let great be.
Yeah, if the greatness isn't on your team, you find a way to. But how come nobody really did that with Jordan?
We don't know. We weren't really in the thick of it then.
But that's what I'm saying.
We're in the Twitter era.
I've always thought it's weird.
Unless you were a Pistons fan or somebody that was a Jazz fan.
Yeah.
Everybody loved Jordan.
Everybody loved Michael Jordan.
But nowadays it's I'm gonna hate on the baller.
Yep.
Like that same buddy who loves the affliction type jerseys.
Yeah.
All he wants to do is talk about Josh Allen because it's not Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
And he just continues to try to convince us that Josh Allen could be Mahomes if X, Y, Z. Why don't we just enjoy Mahomes? I don't get it.
I don't get it either, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe just that, people kind of, when it first is happening, they make a statement of like, no, he's not actually that great. Like, he's good, but he's not like, let's relax. And then it ends up actually continuing. And then it's like, you're kind of stuck in the bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking more about the Brady thing, but we'll get back into it. Well, a lot of people thought this guy was the next Tom Brady. I'm kidding, but some people were serious. Brock Purdy, Chris, and this theory. So Brock Purdy has been holding onto the ball really long, right? And we've heard the haters from Steven Ruiz talk about it. We've heard people that aren't really haters. Tom Brady, who was on the broadcast, said Brock has to get rid of the ball. And I know you guys will get on me because of my crazy theories. And this one was a collab. I did see it on social media, and it got my gears turning. Okay. And as people were discussing the red zone separation, right now there's a lack of red zone separation. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. And why is Brock holding on to the ball this much? Is it Christian McCaffrey? Could be a lot of things. But one thing I came across, Chris and Nate, is that it's possible that Brock Purdy is human. And what do I mean by that? Klay Thompson, we watched Klay Thompson go on his boat with his dog Rocco, and all he cared about was playing. And he was so thankful to the organization for paying him right after he got injured.
Right.
Then, a couple years later, Klay said, I need to get my money. And I'm not trying to get benched for Pajemski.
Right.
And we've seen this thing before where guys, once it's time to actually get money, we find out.
I'm not looking forward to the basketball season.
That they're really, really human just like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And what I'm saying, to bring it back to Brock Purdy, is that the theory going around is that Brock Purdy is human. He's heard the chatter. He's heard he's a check down merchant guy, and he is forcing, and he has been doing it. Most yards, most air yards, all of that. But he is essentially forcing the issue of holding on to the ball to try to get those deep shots to, number one, prove the haters wrong. And number two, he is in a contract season. And everybody's going to come in and say, hey, he's a small town guy. His parents own a jacuzzi company in Arizona. He doesn't care about all that.
He's got the cornfields.
He's got the cornfields. He went to Iowa State. But if you look at the tape, it does seem like Brock Purdy is a part of him that there are check down options available. And Brock is saying, no, I'm trying to show y'all what I can do. I'm trying to cook. And in some ways he is, but in some ways he isn't. And I came across that, Chris.
Yeah, that's
and I thought, look, man, we all got egos.
Yeah.
We all got egos. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, because it's the most human thing you could possibly hear from Brock. If it is true, like, yeah, it's the most human thing you could imagine from Brock's situation is like him saying, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, everyone says that I'm a robot and that I just throw where Kyle tells me to throw. Well, what if I look off that throw? Yeah. And then what if I wait for things to develop? And what if I scramble around a little bit? And what if people, instead of saying, wow, what a play design, it's, wow, what a way
play
to
by
extend,
Brock.
Extend the play by Brock. Oh, Brock made that read. Oh, look at the connection of Brock and his receiver. And it no longer becomes so much so about singularly Brock in the system or being a system quarterback or being held back or held up by the system. It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. And it's probably a piece of it for sure. But some of it might be maybe the line's a little bit worse and there's pressure getting to him before he can make those quick reads. Maybe it is the separation of the receivers. I don't know, but I mean, I do think that I'm not ruling that out as a possibility at all. I mean, just with how much talk, and it's not even just talk around. It's not a narrative. I guess it is a narrative, but it's not just people around him talking about it. He's getting directly asked about it.
Yes.
And so it's something that's at his front door, and I'm sure he thought about it all off season long, and it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's at least a part of him is thinking that or has thought that in preparation for this season. It's about as good of a reason as I've heard. So I definitely don't think that it's not true.
This is from Marco Martinez, who covers the Niners as well. For those saying Brock is holding it because the wide receivers aren't separating, average target separation a wide receiver has when ball is thrown to them per next gen stats for the 49ers. Jordan Mason, 4.6 yards. George Kittle, 3.6. Brandon Ayuk, 2.4. Deebo Samuel, 2.3. Juwan Jennings, 2.1. Now, I will say that obviously if you look at it, you can just tell by how it sounds. Once you get to the twos, it's not bad, but it's nothing to write home about. I think that goes back to the conversation of yesterday, Chris. Those tight window throws, I get confused sometimes when we talk about Brock, not me and you, but people will say, Brock is fitting it into the tight windows. And then it's, well, Brock, how is he supposed to fit it into the tight windows when there's no separation? Yeah. And when you look, obviously, Deebo Samuel, once you get to the twos, I think that's around average. It's not great, but it's not terrible either. So you got George Kittle, who obviously that big boy, 3.6, that's you're going to get that there. He goes on to say, if there is a stat on average separation per route, please share with me. On film, guys are getting open even when not targeted. So I'm not buying the Brock is holding on to the ball because no one is open narrative. And that's where this kind of whole thing started. And somebody said he's holding on to the ball too long because he's trying to take too many shots downfield, in my opinion.
Interesting. I mean, and I wonder how much of it too could be the fact that McCaffrey's not there. I don't know how big of an impact that is. You don't have, how many times does Christian McCaffrey just bust a run, a huge 30, 40, 50-yard run out of nowhere? I wonder if it's maybe them trying to make up, or Brock, I should say, trying to make up for the explosives that maybe they're not getting without McCaffrey in there. Because, Jordan Mason runs really hard, but I can't think of many, 30, 40-yard runs from him. It's just really, really tough, banging into 3-4 guys to get a 12 to 15-yard run, which are great, but it's not necessarily the big explosive plays that that McCaffrey gives you. It's really interesting. And, I don't know if it's been I don't know if I would say it's been at a detriment so far, but there's a lot of Niner fans who are out there and definitely are more invested than I am and really think that this is a big problem for Brock. So it's going to be something I continue to watch, but I think as long as the receivers are open and, I think as long as I don't think Brock has lost any of the processing or ability to make those throws. I think if anything, it could just be him trying to expand his game. He still really doesn't have, in the grand scheme of things, all that too many games under his belt. I wonder if it is just maybe him trying something different and it still is early in the season. Maybe he'll settle back into the Brock that everybody kind of knows.
Brock had sound in the post-game presser, and there's been a narrative going around about we don't know what our identity is, specifically without Christian McCaffrey. And I think that that's part of this as well. I think it's easy. The identity is still run first and figure everything out later. But you have Kyle Shanahan calling these pass plays. And I think that's what's weird. If you want to be on the side of these wide receivers aren't getting separation, then why is Kyle Shanahan force feeding the pass plays, right? Shouldn't he see that and say, we got to mix it up in a different way, or, play something, play actions or something. And if you see Jordan Mason I'm curious, Chris, to this stat, Jordan Mason, because he had the biggest separation, are those checkdowns where he's available, or is it if he's because I don't think Jordan Mason is running a ton of routes.
No, not that I've
seen. So it looks like he's there, and obviously he's not Christian McCaffrey catching the football, but ultimately, yeah, it's just something I came across. And what is Brock trying to get to that 60 mil? And honestly, Shanahan's not helping with this play calling.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we talked about it a bit yesterday. Like that run pass balance, like you said, is just completely out of whack. I think Brock dropped back 51 times and they only ran the ball. I think it was literally 51 to 25 in terms of the pass run splits or drop back to run splits. Or designed run, that is. And I, that you just can't have that, especially when that's, like you said, that should still be the identity of the offense. Jordan Mason is still running hard. He's still gaining a ton of yards when he is running the ball. And we saw it a bit last year, right? Like, remember the Eagles, it's almost the inverse of what he would do when we would get frustrated last year. In that Eagles game, he throws it a ton in the first quarter and they look completely off schedule. I think they go down 10 in that game, and then they flip things around. They go back to the run, and then Brock, kind of supplementing some of the runs with some passes. And all of a sudden the offense starts to look like it's falling back into shape. I think they need to get back to running the ball a little bit more. Now, you don't have to give Jordan Mason as many touches as what you would give McCaffrey, but you should still be giving him a fair share of it. And it just feels like we really haven't seen just a Jordan Mason workload game like we did really the first couple weeks.
No, and obviously it's so funny as we talk, and somebody said, I'm not doing the Shanahan offensive genius thing until he figures out the red zone, because you can't be an offensive genius if you can't put the biscuit in the basket. But it is interesting, Chris, just looking back at it felt like, off the top of my head, it felt like that was the biggest load that Isaac Guerrero had carried so far. Not that it was a lot, but it felt like he got a good amount of carries. Let's see here. He got 5 carries for 22 yards.
I didn't even think it was 5.
So I mean, they're trying. He hasn't been terribly impressive, but has he really got a lot of opportunities to be impressive? No. That whole thing went away with, are they going to make a deal with Miami with Josh Dobbs or somebody? And yeah, this is not the way. This is not the way to kind of get it done. And we'll see what the Niners have when they get to Seattle on Thursday. Coming up next, Davante Adams. He canceled his normal appearance with Kay Adams, which led us to believe that something was going to happen. And then the two teams he was interested in ended up running into some problems. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys, live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus, view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fastener's Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power & Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Number one claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Even in a broken Washington, one person delivers results. Our Congressman Kevin Kiley. Working across party lines, Kevin Kiley has helped pass bipartisan bills to lower prices for gas, groceries, and utilities, provide tax relief for the victims of recent wildfires and storms, and to protect Lake Tahoe today and for future generations. Kiley has secured millions of federal dollars to ease traffic on our roads, expand our water supply, and protect our homes and communities from wildfires. And because he believes public safety comes first, Kevin Kiley is working to crack down on repeat offenders, retail thieves, and fentanyl dealers who prey on our youth. Kevin Kiley is always ready to work across party lines to get things done, and never afraid to take on the establishment in Washington or Sacramento when that's what's needed to protect our quality of life. Delivering results. That's Kevin Kiley. Let's keep him working for us.
I'm Kevin Kiley, and I approve this message. Paid for by Kevin Kiley for Congress.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
It's the Big Sky home opener for the Sacramento State Hornets this Saturday. 6 p.m. kickoff versus Eastern Washington. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sacktown Sports. Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Hold on. 15 minutes away from giving away UC Davis football tickets, family 4-pack, as they face Cal Poly. I love SLO. You guys been to SLO?
Yeah, I took my cousin there for orientation.
No, I've never been to the school. Well, I've been around it, but I've never really been on campus.
I took her, about a year ago. We flew down to Santa Barbara, rented a car. Santa Barbara, beautiful airport. Beautiful, by the way. Drove 45 minutes an hour. Amazing. And then got there, and it was really cool. It's a very new, a lot of new buildings, a lot of new stuff. It was exciting.
Chris, I've never been to UC Santa. I've never been to Santa Barbara. I've heard that's beautiful.
You land and you can see the water from the airport. It's awesome.
Well, it's insane.
Yeah, it's insane. It is gorgeous.
But San Luis Obispo, I like
swear by SLO.
Well, it's a little different because we're in Sacramento, but from the Bay, I mean, it's 3 hours, but it ain't a Tahoe 3 hours. It's a straight shot. It's flat. It's easy.
I actually, after did the drive from SLO to Berkeley because I was going to a concert with my friends the next day. It was more than 3. It was about 4:15. It was long. It was.
I don't know how you drive.
Yeah, I was driving in
a
hybrid. I was driving in a hybrid.
Oh yeah. If you guys were starting to feel bad for Robert Saleh, don't worry.
A little bit.
Robert Saleh will make close to $20,000 per day from the New York Jets for about the next 2 years. He will make $583,000 per month, $134,000 a week. 19,000. Yeah, like I said, 20,000 a day, $800 an hour, and $13 a minute.
That's just a little bit better than what I make here.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same.
This man is making minimum wage a minute.
To go on vacation with this kid.
Yeah, I know.
Where would you go?
I'll
tell you what, I like SLO, but I ain't going to SLO.
Would you take
I don't know where I'm going to Ibiza. That's where I'm going. I'm going.
I guess you got to take all that heat in New York for the rest of your life.
I don't care. I'm going to Ibiza.
No, you might implode, Alan.
I embrace
the whole city hated you, New York.
For $20,000 a day, you can call me anything you want, brother.
Whatever.
While I'm in Ibiza.
Yep.
and then I'm going to
You have to stop.
and then I'm going to Mykonos in Greece.
There's another place. Barcelona.
Yeah.
Ibiza.
Bithia?
Is that a different place?
Terabithia?
So if you felt bad for Salah, yeah.
No,
you can still feel bad
I'll
for
tell
him.
you what,
but
I don't anymore.
He don't feel bad for himself.
Yeah, there's nothing to feel bad about.
Yeah,
Man,
that's crazy.
The escort thing is still weird to me.
Getting escorted out of the building, please. Please clarification. Please clarification when you say the escort.
Yeah. The escort thing.
What I'm kind of thinking now is like,
we know.
I think they were just like,
make a lot of money.
It was so shocking.
13 a minute? Come on. Sorry, Dave.
Sorry. No. It was just so shocking that they're like, hey, this guy's intense. He's yelling a lot. I've never seen Adam Gase yell before. So it just kind of came out of nowhere, and you never know how someone's going to react in the moment. So I don't know if it's a shot on Salah at all, but
well, I do think the fact that it came out with everything else, you know what I mean? Hey, he got escorted out. So are you trying to tell us something? You know what I mean? Why did that have to come out? And then someone says, by the way, Gase didn't get escorted out. So weird stuff. But again, 20K, you can escort me literally everywhere,
wherever,
and I can pay you.
It doesn't matter. You can embarrass me all you want.
Yeah, and I can pay you. Okay, this Davante Adams, this whole thing is. I feel like I'm literally in a Marvel movie because everything is connected. You have the Robert Saleh and the Jets, which is connected to Davante Adams because that's a team they were interested in. So Kay Adams, what was that, Chris? 16 hours ago, she said Davante Adams on Up and Adams show tomorrow as he does his weekly hit. Then she quote tweets herself and says, oh boy, lots happening at the moment with our guy Adams. He won't be on tomorrow. Sorry about that, and stay tuned with eye emojis. When she said that, Chris, I mean, everybody thought, okay, something is going to happen. It's only 10:51, but, it's a little bit late. I mean, we're pretty much hitting the afternoon for the East Coast, and nothing has been done yet. There's no way the Jets signed Davante Adams, at least not today. I don't know that they will, period. They need a head coach. I mean, the only reason I could see them doing it, Chris, is it just reeks of desperation with Aaron Rodgers. That's just 100%. All it is. And the Salah thing. If you feel like Salah isn't good or doing a good job, then there's no reason to not trade for Davante because we think we'll be better without Salah. Why do you fire someone? You think somebody else can do a better job. Yeah. So I guess the Jets could still be in the equation for that. Maybe I could see, Chris, let's see who the Jets have next.
Oh, they got Buffalo on Monday.
Let's just play the game, right? And I know initially we had talked about getting Davante into the building before the Buffalo game. I don't think that happens now. They got to focus on, getting that new coaching staff in order. Let's say they mess around and beat the Bills. I think that trade, they beat the Bills on Monday, Davante will be there on Tuesday. That's what I think. If they lose to the Bills, then I don't. They still could maybe go after Davante, but it just seems like a bit of a mess. So this Davante Adams thing has really turned on its head. It looks like Derek Carr is getting an MRI today.
Oh, man.
Yesterday, he said it did not feel good. He said it actually wasn't on the hit. It was on the throw. So I think that's even worse.
Yeah,
it wasn't on the hit, he said.
Okay.
And he just felt like he couldn't go. He leaves the game. So that's the other team that was interested in Davante Adams. So does another team slide in here?
Oh, man.
If Derek Carr isn't as serious, do they still make that move? To me, it feels like as much as I sat there yesterday and said this thing is about to change, well, all it took was about 24 hours for things to change in a different way. And I don't know who's going to go after Davante Adams, at least immediately. I think that both teams have to get through this next week and see who they are because of that price tag that it's going to cost them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can't just I think it's a really delicate situation, like you said. I mean, it feels like a lot of things shifted in just 24 hours, where a lot of team situations just don't really quite make as much sense as what it did, even just as recently as yesterday. But I wonder what. I don't know which situation makes the Jets more likely. Obviously, a loss, like you said, maybe puts them a little bit too far behind the eight ball to where maybe it's like, okay, why are we compounding a mistake here? Why the season's already not going how we want it to go? Do we really want to get rid of a second round pick and then sign this aging receiver to a contract where he's essentially signing for a quarterback in which he doesn't know if he's going to be there in 2 years? Sound familiar, Davante?
Yeah.
I think it's a really just tough situation to try and figure out. I mean, I think the Raiders situation is definitely, in my opinion, probably too far gone. I think even if they can squash it for the remainder of the season, I just don't see a future with Davante there. It's got to happen to somebody. And, I think the Chiefs still are a team that would want it. I just don't think the Raiders would ever do that trade unless the Chiefs just made it way, way too enticing to turn down. Buffalo maybe is a team that is a sneaky contender for it. And, I guess, the Edgar Allan Poe could be the Ravens, but I don't really see, again, kind of similar thing. I don't know why they would feel the urgency to get it done right now.
Yeah, I saw Bleacher Report. They did come out with it was one thing about each team, or one bold statement about each team. And for the Bills, they said that the Bills need a wide receiver one. So I do think on the other side of it, if the Bills go on, and I think whether they beat the Jets or not, I think the Bills, that's a different situation because Josh Allen is right there in his prime. So you can look at it that way. You know what's crazy, Chris, is I know Nate loves this show because this is right up his alley. I think you should leave. Where, in the show, there's that famous clip where he says, we're trying to figure out who did this. We're all trying to figure out who did this. So Davante Adams, after Antonio Pierce said the business decisions thing, right? Yep. Antonio Pierce, and I think we played the audio. We did. Antonio Pierce went on Kay Adams and he said, I agree.
Or Davante
Adams.
Yeah,
Davante Adams went on Kay Adams and said, I agree with what Antonio Pierce is saying. A couple weeks later, or maybe a week later, what I'm seeing coming out of Vegas is that everybody, and what Jay Glazer is saying, everybody was good, right?
Yep.
That team.
Literally, it was all good just a week ago.
It was all good just a week ago. The team meeting happened, and then that's when Davante, after the team meeting, said, get me out of here. So Davante, I'm imagining this in my head, Chris. Davante thinking, people were making business decisions.
Yep.
They get in the team meeting and coach meeting, and they say,
it's me?
Bro, it's you. You're the one making business decisions. And then he didn't like getting called out, and he said, get me up out of here. That is essentially what we've seen from Jay Glazer, because he was on Kay Adams saying, I agree. And then after they had the meeting about that whole situation, he wanted out, according to Jay Glazer. So he didn't even realize he was the one that Antonio Pierce was talking about.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which is
crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy. It's so crazy. And especially the fact that he agrees. I seriously do wonder if he didn't know or if he's playing coy. I mean, because, we all said after we heard the Antonio Pierce audio, like, we're going to find out who this is. We're definitely going to find out who exactly he's talking about. And I don't think we ever really did. We never saw wholesale changes at any position. I know they made a switch at quarterback, but I don't think it was Gardner Minshew he was talking about. And really the Davante Adams situation is the only thing that's really been a major change from the Raiders.
Right. It's not confirmed, but there's no way to confirm something like this. All we know is that the meeting happened and he asked for a trade right after. And laundry got aired out. That was the quote. That's what was reported after that meeting. All right. We take a break from the gridiron. We head to the hardwood. The Kings featured in the NBA GM survey is Chris's favorite time of year. Let's take you through it. Also, UC Davis ticket giveaways for Cal Poly when we return. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals, and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Fall's right around the corner, and there's no better way to experience nature and everything that Northern California has to offer than in a Jeep. And right now, it's Jeep Adventure Days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And they've got the deals and selection for you. From sales to service, they're going to prove to you why they deserve your business. Their GM, Chuck Dean, he has this talent of not only getting you the best deal in town, but he also is able to build an inventory that other dealers are jealous of. SacsSuperstore.com and located off of Business 80 across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Do you have old baseball cards and sports memorabilia from the 50s and 60s collecting dust in your closet? They could be very valuable in any condition. Find out at the Sports Cards Roadshow. We'll be in the Sacramento area to evaluate your old and modern sports cards. Visit sportscardsroadshow.com today to schedule your appointment. Ask about your free on-site sports card evaluation. For large vintage and modern collections, we can come to you. Skip the garage sale. Sports Cards Roadshow is buying. Call 1-800-560-3272 today or visit sportscardsroadshow.com.
For 76 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 76th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Carmichael Dave here from my good friends at American Energy. Cool weather, if not cold weather, is in our future. You know that. It'll eventually get there, and American Energy wants to make sure your system is operating safely and properly. So now is the time to take advantage of the $49 fall tune-up inspection. That's regularly $119, but includes a full safety and duct inspection. And if your system's over 10 years old, it's free. The tune-up is on American Energy. Give them a call right now. They're offering $50 off your first recommended repair, or if you need a new furnace, that's half off the price of a new unit. American Energy been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You can check them out at the AEWay.com for an instant quote. That's the AEWay.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9998 now.
Meda Chevy saves you $12,750 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado LT in stock after rebates. All of them. Silverado Blowout on now at MedaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 10/31/24.
Your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Chris's turn to pick that lucky number.
Oh, boy.
From the 916 that just doesn't love Nate.
Oh.
Nate watches sports on TikTok and Nickelodeon.
Well, I didn't even say anything today.
He was doing it yesterday. I just didn't say it.
Who is this? Is this that same
guy.
dork?
Same guy.
Dude, I hope you get a flat tire today.
Oh, he's going to be the lucky caller.
I'm going to give him tickets to like something in Minnesota and make him fly out there. I don't know why I picked Minnesota.
Yeah,
Chris.
Vikings. Yeah, there you go.
Wyoming.
UC Davis.
Send him to Siberia.
Football. Aggie up. is back in action this Saturday. Sacktown Sports has once again proudly partnered up with UC Davis football. It's in all caps. Football.
Oh, it sure is.
I don't even have TikTok installed.
To keep you laced up with the Aggies all season long. And right now, we're looking for caller number
6.
Caller number 6. Caller number 6.
Come on.
Caller number 6 to score our Stiles and Watkins family 4-packs. Robert Saleh would need a lot more than a 4-pack. And parking to check out the Aggies hosting Cal Poly this Saturday. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. Caller number 6. They went quick yesterday.
You know what's funny?
Caller number 6.
I have to cut these and send them to who's ever doing this promotion.
Yeah.
So they're going to get this, and they're just going to have me throwing a fit.
Well, and me talking about Robert Saleh's children.
That's fine.
It's
a good joke.
Whatever. Yeah.
916-339-1140.
Simone picks the best one, so I doubt she'll pick this one.
Well, she's going to. 916-339-1140. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Caller number 6.
They're off.
Going to be 80 degrees. 80 degrees. That's football weather. You know, no, that's not football weather. I need it to be rainy. And sludgy.
Not if you want fans in the stands.
That's right. Fans in the stands, all 25,000 of them. But that's Sax Day. We're talking UC Davis. Aggie up against Cal Poly this weekend.
I think this is, you get a double Mustang mascot at least.
That's right.
Yeah, not the UC Davis. Obviously, is the Aggies.
Okay,
their logo is a mask.
There was a big thing when I was there. It still might be going on to get it changed to a cow, which I think would make more sense.
That should absolutely happen.
Yeah,
without a doubt. And you can even make terrible jerseys that look like a cow.
The problem is too,
like you can be like a reverse Oregon.
Yes.
The only issue I see with it is that all over town there's horses everywhere. Like,
but there's a ton of cows too.
Yeah.
And what is it?
Alan
like
has mentioned,
what is it?
The smell.
That manure is manure of who?
Cow patty up is what they say.
Okay. Not talking about the cow palace.
Great. You can probably get some really great, like Chick-fil-A is definitely going to be a sponsor for you.
That arena should have been called the Cow Palace.
I'm going to say definitely not Chick-fil-A, just because of this is a political show. So
okay,
they get into some it's political.
They have a cow mascot.
That's right.
Eat more chicken, right?
Yeah.
They should sponsor us.
916-339-1140. Uh-oh, getting closer to 6. Getting closer. Looks like we have a winner, Chris Watkins.
Yeah.
We have some winners and losers from the Kings GM survey. I know you're excited, so I'm going to give you the floor.
Okay.
What do you got?
You guys ready to play? Because I'm going to ask you what you think the answer will be. And these are just, we're going to focus on the Kings centric ones right now, and we will get to the more general non-Kings NBA ones later in the show around the noon hour. So if you're interested in the annual GM survey, hang on for that.
Okay.
So we have, again, these are all going to be involving Kings players, involving Kings offseason, and some of them are going to involve potentially Kings coaches as well. Let's start off with the players. Which player? And these are, 32 NBA GMs are surveyed every single year and are given really free reign to answer however they want. You'll see it in some of the answers as we talk about all the time, like what position, like Kevin Huerter might come up. He's not going to, but he might come up in the who is the best small forward in the NBA.
Right.
Kevin Huerter might receive votes. So you are free reign to answer. If you think Kevin Huerter's a 2, if you think he's a 3, if you think Sabonis is a 4 and not a 5, you get the point. So some of these answers might be a little bit strange. It might need some explaining. Some are pretty straightforward. Which player is most likely to have a breakout season in the 24-25 campaign? Again, this is 32 GM surveyed for this answer. Who of the Sacramento Kings is most likely to have a breakout season according to GMs? And we will get to all the answers.
It's got to be Keegan.
It sure is. It is one Keegan Murray who falls in the others receiving votes category. As I'm trying, the link is no longer working for me, but Keegan Murray is in the others receiving votes category. He was not featured in this last season, and I can get that to you, who was at the top of that list in just a minute. Who is the best power forward in the NBA? This is where one gets a little bit squirrely.
Are they calling Sabonis a power forward?
They are calling Domantas Sabonis a power forward, and he is also in the others receiving votes category. And this one, I think, is mainly because I don't know how many people across the league universally view him as a power forward. And so the list gets, like I said, just a little bit wonky with some of these. And this is definitely one of them, as Sabonis falls into the best power forwards in the NBA. Let's move on to some of the offseason poll questions. Which team made the best overall moves this offseason? Obviously, there's only one answer for that. There's no surprise. It is the Sacramento Kings. As an honorable mention, didn't quite get onto the list fully, but they did get an honorable mention. Which one player acquisition will make the biggest impact? DeMar DeRozan. He falls on the others receiving votes portion of this list. And what was the most surprising move of the offseason? That was as well DeMar DeRozan. So here we go for the others. Now that I have the list in front of me, for which player is most likely to have a breakout season. Again, that was Keegan Murray, who got others receiving votes. Number one on that list, Jalen Williams of the OKC Thunder. He got 13%. Evan Mobley got 10%. John Morant, funny enough, had 10%.
Rolled his ankle yesterday. You see that?
I did see that, yeah. Victor Wembanyama as well, getting 10%. Last year, Anthony Edwards led the voting with 23%. Best power forward in the NBA, again, Domantas Sabonis received the others receiving votes category. Giannis Antetokounmpo received 77% of the vote. Kevin Durant received the other 7%, and then a bunch of people split the remaining part.
So Sabonis is not on the centers list.
He is not on the centers list at all. For what it's worth, last year as well, Giannis owned 97% of that power forward vote, dropped to 77. This year, the best center in the NBA, Jokic 87%, Joel Embiid 10%, Victor Wembanyama 3%. That makes up the entirety of the center votes, as Jokic last year got 93% of the vote. Like I said, DeMar DeRozan / the Sacramento Kings get the vote for which team made the best overall moves this offseason. Kings are one of the teams of the others receiving votes. OKC finished number 1, 37%. 76ers finished number 2 at 33%. And the New York Knicks, I think kind of surprisingly, finished third at 20%. They get Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges this offseason and still finished third in the which team had the best offseason. Again, the Kings get honorable mention in that one. Another one in which the Kings were mentioned, again, which one player acquisition will make the biggest impact? That was, of course, DeMar DeRozan. The first place vote was Paul George. Second place was Mikal Bridges. Third place was Karl Anthony Towns. Fourth place was Alex Caruso. Last season, the Damian Lillard trade got 47% of that vote. And which move was the most surprising move of the offseason? That was, again, DeMar DeRozan finished third in that one. Karl Anthony Towns to the Knicks was number 1. Paul George to the Sixers was number 2. DeMar number 3 to Sacramento, getting 17% of the vote. Mikal Bridges to New York, 10%. Zachary Reese-Sachet getting drafted number 1 with 7% of the vote. Last year, the Holiday Lillard trade received 43% of the vote. Here's the last one we'll do for you in this segment. Which rookie, this is really surprising, which rookie was the biggest steal at where he was selected in the draft? This one is a massive, well, how many is this? 5-way tie for first place. Devin Carter receives votes, tied for first with Bub Carrington, Devin Carter, Johnny Furphy, Dalton Knecht, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Nikola Topic, all receiving 10% of the vote. Matas Buzelis gets 7% of the vote. Your guy, Donovan Clingan, received 7% of the votes as well. Last year, Cam Whitmore received 43% of the vote.
But what? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Tajon Salon is not featured. Not featured. Let me see if he's in any of these rookie
went
ones.
too early.
Who will win Rookie of the Year? Reed Shepard received 50% of the vote. None for Tajon Salon.
Zach Edey.
Zach Edey was number 2 at 30%, and Stephon Castle was number 3 at 13%.
What about my new boy, Matas?
Somehow Victor Wembanyama only got 50% of the vote last year. Matas was not featured on the Who Will Win Rookie of the Year, but he might be featured. No, he will. Oh, yes, he will be featured later in a different rookie voting, which we'll talk about at the noon hour. Some of the more fun NBA big picture stuff. But there you go. That is the first section, and we have about 5 more where the Kings are involved in that we'll get to in just a minute.
Coming up next, we get to that part 2 as we talk about the coaching staff and just some different questions that get asked. Best home court advantage and which player is the fastest with the ball. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
It's better over here.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has an exclusive rate plan just for you. Right now, get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings versus Verizon and AT&T. Plus, you can get one of the latest 5G phones free when you add a line. That's right, a free 5G phone. Experience all this and more on America's largest 5G network. So why wait? At T-Mobile, customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Just go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 or visit your local store to make the switch.
With AutoPay using debit or bank account plus taxes and fees, 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Free phones up to $300 off with 24 monthly bill credits and qualifying new line for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Contact us before canceling your entire account to continue remaining bill credits, and if you pay off device early. See details at T-Mobile.com.
Local. Live and local. This is Sacktown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, congrats to our winner. You will have 2 more chances tomorrow and Thursday. Nate, you have a name for our winner? Shout them out.
Yeah, not the guy who texted in. Not that guy.
Love it.
I need that guy's name. I need him to call in. I just need to figure out this beef.
It's grilled today. There's a lot of beef today. It's Top T on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't even know what.
Well, who won?
Kyle in Vacaville.
Hey, Vacaville cows. Just keep it going.
Just any cows.
Yeah,
you know.
Kyle loves UC Davis because he's from Vacaville, right?
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's adding up.
Mm-hmm. All right, Chris, let's get to this part 2.
Okay.
Of the Kings that were featured in the NBA GM survey.
Okay,
What you
okay.
got?
Let's get into it. Let's do how about who is the best, and I mean best, assistant coach in the entire NBA? Nice to see that the Kings do get a vote. Obviously, they lose Jordy this offseason, and it still doesn't matter because they have one Jay Triano sitting on their sideline. Jay does only get the what's it called? Others receiving votes, the honorable mention. Last year, for what it's worth, Jordy Fernandez was number 1 on this list. 31% of the vote he received. He, of course, clearly other GMs, as this is voted on by, really like Jordy, and he gets the head coaching job of the Brooklyn Nets, obviously, this offseason. Sam Cassell is number 1 at 17%. And actually, former Sacramento Kings assistant coach, I think it was under Luke Walton. It might have been under Dave Yeager. Micah Nori, who's with Minnesota now. He ties Sam Cassell for best assistant in the NBA at 17%. Some of the other names, Sean Sweeney of Dallas Mavericks, Chris Quinn of the Miami Heat, and Jeff Van Gundy joined the staff of the Los Angeles Clippers this offseason. So he gets some votes as well. Shout out Jay Triano, one of my favorites, and is just an all-time hilarious guy. Which team, now as we get into just some of the more miscellaneous questions, which team has the best home court advantage? Sacramento would have been, this is the one. Like, this is their award. If they're not featured on this, this is how you really upset Kings fans. And they were just barely featured.
Top 4?
I would say
3?
they received 1 vote, if I had to guess. They got 3% of the vote and finished at number 6.
That's crazy.
Was it Staples at number 1 because of the way they do the lighting?
Let's play the feud, a short version of the feud.
Okay. I love
Alan,
this.
Nate, which team has the best home court advantage in the NBA? Alan Stiles, you're sitting in the big seat, so you
Not
get first
Miami.
guess.
Man.
Yeah, not I'll tell you
Miami.
this right now. The Miami Heat are not featured.
This is really a tough one.
It doesn't have to. I'll give you a very leading hint that it doesn't have to be because of the fans.
Huh.
Okay.
Maybe it confuses you even more.
Yeah,
but I
that
thought that would help
definitely does
at least with 2 of them. I would say it's more so about the building,
building,
the outside.
Madison Square Garden.
The Madison Square Garden is is one of them. Tied for 3rd, the New York Knicks, receiving 13% of the vote. That is one of them that I was referring to when I said it's not just about the people, the fans.
The new Clipper Stadium obviously is not on there.
That should be, but no.
Like that's they have a 4 a.m. club, by the way. I have not forgotten about that.
We know.
Frustrating.
I'm just going to say it just based on who they are, the Celtics.
The Celtics are number 3 as well, 13% of the votes.
My all-time guess is the Lakers because of that lighting thing.
Lakers are not featured. Best home court advantage. It's definitely a really big thing. You're probably going to kick yourself.
Milwaukee?
Milwaukee is not featured.
It's the Nuggets.
It is the Denver Nuggets receiving 47% of the vote. I would say it has nothing to do with the fans, and that all has to do with elevation.
That was a good hint.
I thought so.
Honestly, I was trying to think of outside forces. Couldn't think of anything. Silly me.
Denver Nuggets, 47% of the vote. OKC receives 17% of the vote. Boston, 13. The New York Knicks, 13. Utah Jazz surprisingly slip in at number 5 with 7%. And then the Sacramento Kings, 3% of the vote. Again, that if I had to do the math in my head, I would say that's probably 1 vote gotten.
Utah better
Kings.
than.
That's what the streets are saying. Unfortunately, I think the streets are saying that the Jazz have more pop than the Sacramento Kings.
Well, we'll show a little bit of elevation too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, it's mountainous out there. You know, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Which team's level of success this season is toughest to predict?
Grizzlies.
Not featured on the list.
Really?
Memphis Grizzlies not featured on the list because people think that they can figure it out and they just are assuming that
would
it's
it be?
I
know somebody's going to get on me, but the Warriors.
The Warriors didn't even get a single vote. Not even in the.
They're just bad.
Not even in the also receiving votes, which is interesting.
Because I was just going to say Warriors and Lakers.
Lakers are number 1. 17% of the vote goes to the Los Angeles Lakers. 32 GMs surveyed. Which team's level of success this season is toughest to predict? Los Angeles Lakers, number 1, 17%. Houston Rockets, number 2, 13. As are the New Orleans Pelicans, 13%. At number 4, the Phoenix Suns fall at 10%. The Dallas Mavericks and Sixers both at 7%. The Kings are just one of the teams receiving votes. Last year, the Sixers finished number 1 at 30%. Moving on to the next one. This one's so easy, guys. I mean, come on. Who's the fastest player in the NBA with the ball in their hands?
Oh, man. Pajemski?
I would say Domantas Sabonis, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. It's De'Aaron Fox receiving 52% of the vote. He did technically, I think, lose a vote. Last year, he finished first with 57%. This year, 52%. Number 1. Ja Morant is number 2 at 38%. Tyrese Maxey, number 3 at 7%. And number 4, Kyrie Irving at 3%. So there you go.
It's like quick, though. What about Tyrese Halliburton?
Tyrese Halliburton not mentioned on that.
Puma now.
Thank you for letting
I'd
me
be
say
so
that.
much better at these if I just got off TikTok, got all my sports from
You know, well, yeah, you
normal.
know,
if I wasn't
Nickelodeon
watching vertical
Dora the Explorer.
Slime.
Yeah, watching De'Aaron
Slime
Fox
backwards.
covered in slime. That's why he's so slow.
What's next?
Which player would you want taking a shot to win the game on the line?
The chef.
Yeah, Luka, maybe he's on there.
It's the chef.
Let's see here. Which player would you want taking a shot with the game on the line? Number 1 is Wardell Stephen Curry, 40%, which is crazy because I don't know how many game winners he's at.
Right.
Number 2
Baby.
is Kevin Durant, 23%. Number 3, Luka Doncic, 10%. Number 4, tied for 4, two-way tie, Nikola Jokic, 7%. Damian Lillard, 7%.
Jokic?
Some of the others receiving votes, your very own DeMar DeRozan, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kyrie Irving, and Jamal Murray. Last year, Steph led things with 37%, so he got an extra vote this year.
Interesting.
Whoopee.
Clutch player.
Whoopty freaking do.
Clutch
How about
player
that?
right there? That's great stuff.
Yeah, I love the GM survey. It's a really good time.
SGA too, because like
SGA got a others receiving vote for that.
He's really confusing for me where he stands in the NBA.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are trying to figure out exactly like what he, how much of last year is legit and how much was kind of an anomaly.
Look, I'll tell you this much. I mean, and I think Chris, you had mentioned the rest of that team getting better, like Chet, and they have Jalen Williams on there.
Yeah.
It's possible. I mean, we got Minnesota locked in. If OKC gets off, if they take a step back or just, have some growing pains, call it their version of a sophomore slump, then this thing gets wide open.
Yeah.
I don't think I think they'll be good enough to be top 3. Don't get me wrong, but just anything is possible. And I know that's the one that we've pseudo locked in, but yeah, Shai to me is one of those guys where you just, what is it that you do here?
Yeah.
You do things well, but I don't really know how it's going to translate. It feels like almost like a shtick.
Master of none.
Like somebody's going to figure out the shtick if he doesn't continue to expand. But he's so young, we're assuming that he does. Speaking about a shtick, has the Niners shtick gotten figured out? Colin Cowherd talks about the Niners and Brock Purdy, whether or not the window has closed. And we have Shanahan, his close loss stats might not make you feel too good. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy Kyle Draper. Drapes for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now is the time to buy or lease a Mercedes-Benz van for sale. They have Sprinter vans. You could turn it into a worker cargo van, a worker passenger van, or just a plain old passenger van. They are fully customizable. And one of the things I love about their Sprinter vans, because trust me, I had a chance to check them out myself. I hopped in the Sprinter van, and you guys know I'm a big guy, right? Well, I was able to stand up head to toe and fit perfectly. So if you're interested in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van for your business or just your personal needs, now is the time to head down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. They can help you find the configuration that best suits your needs. Plus, you can take advantage of the huge tax breaks before year's end. Take the short drive down I-5 or go online anytime at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com, and tell them your boy Drape sent you.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. October 12th is a date you're not going to want to miss. It's homecoming here in Davis, and we face off with rival Cal Poly at 4 p.m. for the Golden Horseshoe. It's also Junior Aggiette Day. So, kids, if you want to perform on the field with our cheer and dance teams, visit ucdavisaggies.com/tickets and sign up today. Let's pack the stands for this rivalry game and celebrate what it means to be a part of this Davis community. Go Ags.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
We will get back to part 2 of our NBA GM survey, but first, time to head back to Niner land with one Colin Cowherd has some things to say about the Niners and specifically Brock Purdy. He's not talking about moving bodies in Vegas this time, Colin Cowherd. He's actually talking about football. And Colin had this to say when talking about the Niners. And essentially, Chris, he's talking about the window closing or how open it still is and how things can change in the NFL very quickly. And then he ends talking about one Brock Purdy. Here it is.
I had said before the season, I worried about San Francisco. J-Mac is my witness. I said, I think they've peaked. They're getting very old. They're getting very reliant on Christian McCaffrey. I did not like all the money talk and the noise in the offseason. That creates some animosity. There are reports this morning from a reporter, Mike Silver, that there's a weird vibe in the locker room. And this morning, here's what we know about the Niners. They've beaten the Jets and the Patriots. And their defense, the names are bigger than production. It's just not that intimidating. Windows close because of the regulated level of violence very quickly in the NFL. Players get old fast. The only thing that lasts a long time in this league is the great coach, great quarterback combination. Walsh and Montana, Belichick and Brady, Reed and Mahomes. You get the right coach and the right quarterback, that puppy can last a long time. But does this sound like it lasts a long time? Super physical team that's solid at quarterback. Now, I know what you're saying. Brock Purdy's more than that. Folks, Brock Purdy in his career now, it's been established. When he leads, bit of a front runner, 131 quarterback rating. In his career, when Brock Purdy trails in the fourth quarter, his passer rating is 62. He is good when he's comfortable. He's good with a lead. He's not good trailing. Here comes the house, and everybody knows you've got to throw it. And that is the difference between Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy.
Well, he said a lot there, right? There's the window conversation, then there's the Brock Purdy conversation. And I guess to his point, it's all connected because if you have an elite quarterback, your window is longer. Let's start with just the idea of the window, Chris. I don't think the window is closed. I would disagree with Colin there, but I do think that this is probably the last season of the window being at least as wide open as it has been. I mean, this thing has been going on since 2018.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's not a crazy thing to say.
No,
that's
great. It's a great
that's a
run.
long time.
Yeah, it's a great run.
That's a long time, and that's why when people want to get on fans for being Super Bowl or bust, fine. You don't have to be Super Bowl or bust.
Yeah,
you know, you don't have to be. I had somebody that I used to work with, and we would go back and forth because all he wanted to do was talk about. This is on the radio. All he wanted to do was talk about how good the Niners were. And one time we were in a crosstalk, and I said, I was in a spicy mood, just like earlier today, and I said straight up, are you going to say it's Super Bowl or bust or not? Because if all you're going to do is sit here and talk about how good this team is and how everything they do is perfect, then don't on the other side say, well, and literally he didn't do it on crossout. He's like, well, anything can happen in one game, but they still have. So, okay, so what do we have to show for all of this?
Right.
Memories, good memories really of good memories. Going to the Super Bowl and losing, and Nate not wanting you to bring back a hat or a shirt because of those are the memories. Those are literally the memories. So
unnecessary shot.
I'm just saying.
I look at that shirt every day too. It's in my closet, and I'm like, man, that should not be in my closet.
Look at it. And the windows are open and then they close probably quicker, and they open quicker in the NFL than any other sport. And I would say they close quicker in the NFL than any other sport. And Kyle Shanahan, the biggest kudos we could give him is for keeping the window open for as long as he has. He hasn't been able to capitalize, but normally windows aren't big this long. I mean, Lamar Jackson, I don't even know if that window's still open. I don't. I think he'll always be in the mix. But now you got Jaden, you got CJ, you got different guys coming into the league every single season. And we talk about this, Chris, that first season, those first couple seasons where guys are trying to figure you out. That's what Russell Wilson did. Russell Wilson, he came in, he snuck one. He never got another one. It was let Russ cook. And I think that's what's happening with Brock Purdy too. Yep. They let Russ cook, and then he started burning down the kitchen. Brock isn't doing that, but the idea of he's doing, I don't know if you're asking him to do too much, Shanahan. I don't know if he's choosing to do too much, but this is not the recipe right now. It really isn't. So I know Colin said a lot right there. I just said a lot right there. I think the window is open, but I don't know if you got more than this season to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the window for this current crop of guys is definitely closing. I think this is, like you said, I agree with you on the fact that this is probably the last year for this. This is the last year for this group. Like, I don't think Trent's going to be around for the next Super Bowl window. I don't know, necessarily how intact that defense is going to be. I don't know if they're going to keep both of their receivers moving forward, or maybe I should say all of their receivers these days moving forward. It feels very much like at least this iteration of the Niners, like you said. I mean, with Brock having to get paid this offseason, it's going to be different. I mean, they're just not going to be able to bring back the same level of team. I feel like Kyle and Brock are good enough. I feel like, you put them in, it sounds crazy and it feels crazy to put them in the Mahomes Reed category, the Brady Belichick category. I think they're probably a step down from that, but I still think that, especially considering the rest of the league, I think it's about as good of a chance as any. And that's just kind of where I continually fall with the Niners. Is I know it's not what you want to hear, especially when you're in it, but it just gets so much worse with different situations. I don't know. And I'm not even saying Niner fans are saying it, but the way Colin's positioning it, he's essentially saying one's got to go. If it's either a combination that works or it's a combination that's not worth continuing to try.
Right.
And I just feel like it's a combination that's worth at least giving the effort to until you absolutely have no doubts that it's just not going to work. I just don't think you can fully throw away having that level of opportunity year after year. And maybe Colin's argument is just that he you kind of heard him there. Maybe he isn't just as high as Brock on Brock as what you and I are.
Yeah, and I don't.
Or maybe I'll just say me.
Yeah, and I don't think that
you like Brock, but
I don't think that Colin was even saying to blow it up.
Yeah, no, he didn't say blow it. No,
he's just saying I just don't know if they're going to essentially get it done. I mean, I think they'll be respectable, but I just don't know that they're going to get it done. I mean, you had Christian McCaffrey and how much he played last season. The note about Brock in the fourth quarter, I mean, I think the obvious...
Yeah, that's a weird one, too, because that's such... I feel like, without looking at the numbers, I feel like it's a small sample size.
Right. Well, but again, that's because Brock, they're always on schedule.
Yeah.
And the only thing that pops out in my mind, I guess the two games, and I'm trying to remember how the Packers game specifically went. I know there was some back and forth, but obviously the Lions game in particular, where Brock did his thing, that was one of the only times you're thinking, you got nothing to say. You can't say anything about this guy. But besides that, it does feel like when he gets off schedule, And, what did they call him? Was it the Dolphins or the Ravens? They called him a spot thrower.
Yeah.
And he likes to throw to his spots. I don't even know if he's been that this season.
Yeah.
I don't even
forgot
know
about that. Was a whole. I think it was the Steelers. It was week one.
It was Steelers.
Week one.
Yes.
Patrick Patterson said that he's a spot thrower.
And then, he spot threw all over the Steelers. I don't even know if that's him this season because he hasn't, he's been trying to do
off schedule
different things. So, 916, Nick is saying where Colin was wrong. Obviously, that's one of Colin's segments. Esteban is saying it's really hard to determine when the window will close or stay open. Yeah, I think that they still have a shot this season simply because there are not a lot of elite teams. I don't even know. The Chiefs have an elite quarterback, right? And I guess, would you call their defense elite at this point in time?
I would say so, yeah, especially league considering.
Yeah. So it's the Chiefs, just like but that's what it's been. That's 100%. What it's been.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like the Niners, they still can win it. And I feel like I say it often, but how often really do teams win the Super Bowl with their quote unquote perfect season? Yeah. Like, I feel like very rarely do we ever see a team feel like through the regular season, they're going to win the Super Bowl. They're going to win the Super Bowl. They go through the postseason and they're going to win. And then they actually do win the Super Bowl. I feel like more times than not, it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe the Eagles kind of came out of nowhere and had a great run. Steelers, they make a great run. The Ravens with Joe Flacco, they just kind of make a big run. Feels like very rarely, with maybe the Chiefs being the glaring exception, it feels like often it's not the best team that dominates throughout the year and then will go on to win the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying it, but maybe in a weird way, the Niners not having this perfectly drawn up season, like maybe it could end up being the season that is the one that goes right. Like, you've tried not saying you should intentionally try and go through struggles, but being perfect and running through the regular season hasn't really done the Niners much good. Maybe in a weird way, how weird the NFL works sometimes in this very trying, tumultuous, long 5 weeks that we've already been through. Maybe for whatever reason, this is the perfect formula that leads to the Niners actually figuring something out.
I was listening to the Drive Guys yesterday, and Whitey was out, so Jay was cooking more than usual, and Jay essentially said the same thing. He said, when you watch a movie, you like the up. When you read a book, you see the ups and downs. It's not normally just we're just going to win every single game and do it. And Jay was basically saying, we've lost as the 1 seed. We've lost as the wild card. We've lost winning the NFC. We've lost in every different way. So to me, it doesn't really matter.
No.
It doesn't just get into the dance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Nick also saying Colin Cowherd mentions Lamar Jackson. So if you're going to mention Lamar Jackson, that's how you can't you're not going to blow this thing up because they haven't done anything. They've done less in the playoffs than Brock Purdy.
Less.
Real quick, this was a very bizarre sequence of events as we talk about the Chiefs and if they'll be healthy going into the postseason and things like that. This was Adam Schefter, 2 tweets, 6.6 minutes away, Chris, from each other. After consulting today with doctors, there's a lot of optimism that standout wide receiver Rasheed Rice didn't suffer a knee injury as significant as first believed, per source. Rice will be put under anesthesia Tuesday to determine the extent of his injury, but the belief now is it could be a much shorter recovery timeline than originally thought. Chris, that's at 3:51, okay? At 3:57, Adam Schefter quote tweets himself. It's unlikely that Chiefs wide receiver Rasheed Rice will play again this season, but doctors will not know for sure until they perform surgery Tuesday morning. Personally,
what?
I don't know. So I was just thinking about the Chiefs and because I don't know that this Chiefs team can win the Super Bowl. Like you can win these regular season games against Derek Carr.
Yeah, you can scrap them out.
But I don't see if by that time who the Bills are or who any of these teams, not the Bengals, but even the Ravens at this point or an NFC team or even the Texans, you need more than Juju TikTok Schuster. That's who Nate keeps watching on the TikTok is Juju Smith-Schuster. Coming up next, we continue the conversation. Is the Niners window closed? And if it is closed, who do you like coming out of the NFC? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Have you heard you can listen to your favorite news podcast ad-free? Good news! With Amazon Music, you have access to the largest catalog of ad-free top podcasts included with your Prime membership. Enjoy shows like The Daily, Up First, and Consider This, available ad-free on Amazon Music. To start listening, download the Amazon Music app for free or go to amazon.com/ad-free. That's amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy happiness. But money did buy your boat, where you find peace fishing, unlike at home with 3 teenage daughters. Because fish never argue about who stole whose crop top, or get mad the other fish used up all the hot water. No, they just swim around, never embarrassed to be seen with you in public. So save money by bundling your boat or RV insurance with home or auto from Progressive. And buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to sacklegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Do you have old baseball cards and sports memorabilia from the 50s and 60s collecting dust in your closet? They could be very valuable in any condition. Find out at the Sports Cards Roadshow. We'll be in the Sacramento area to evaluate your old and modern sports cards. Visit sportscardsroadshow.com today to schedule your appointment. Ask about your free on-site sports card evaluation. For large vintage and modern collections, we can come to you. Skip the garage sale. Sports Cards Roadshow is buying. Call 1-800-560-3272 today or visit sportscardsroadshow.com.
DC here, and if you've been thinking about a new car, you gotta see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia. You can always count on low payments and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
From the 916, the Niners are the West Coast Cowboys. 30, almost 40 years since your last Super Bowl, and every year it's Super Bowl or bust. It's always bust just until the next season starts, and the team is the best thing since sliced bread. Keep that same energy throughout the year, Niner faithful. That's from Merv. I don't even know. Niner fans confuse me. I don't even know how many Niner fans have that bravado. I don't even know if it's like Cowboys. The Cowboy fans, they think they're going to win the whole thing regardless of the roster.
Yeah.
I think the Niner fans are here because their roster is good enough to do it.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
You know, the Cowboys think they have a Super Bowl roster every season when they clear. I mean, they got Rico Dowdle and Deuce Vaughn. And Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
They have no run game.
None at all. And they just have CD.
And Tolbert balled out.
He
actually.
did. That was a sick catch.
Tolbert balled out.
And yeah. And you still think, and Ferguson, right? And that's your
Jake
tight
Ferguson,
end. And that's pretty much it.
I feel like, in a way, I would say at a much lesser expectation, but I think Raider fans are more similar to Cowboys than Niners. Just in terms of like their I guess I'll use the term delusion.
And
Yeah. It's just that they're not out here saying, I'll give Raider fans the credit of like, they're not out here saying, yeah, like super, but it's
relative.
Again, remember,
It's relative.
if you remember during the offseason, we had that show where I came in and I was like, I had a crazy conversation over the weekend with 2 Raider fans that were just telling me how wrong I could be about Gardner Minshew and Zamir White. And here we are in week 6. And
speaking of Zamir White, Raiders basically said that Madison's going to get more touches.
Yeah. And it looks like he should. I mean, I don't love Alexander Madison as your feature back. He looked not great as the feature back this week, but there was no way that was going to be a winning formula.
I don't even know. I mean, Raiders, they could mess around so much that Shador don't even want to go there because you don't have you don't got a running back.
Now you're doing it.
Well, I'm just saying you don't have a running back. Sure. I don't know what Antonio. It seems like we thought it was Antonio Pierce losing the locker room. Seems like it's more of a Davante Adams thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're there yet.
Right.
But you have that going on. You're going to need you don't have a wide receiver 1 anymore.
Nope.
Or you won't by the end of the season. So Shador might say that's no longer on my list, even though he was with Mark Davis, right? Was that at the Aces game? This could be your home.
This could be your home.
This could be your home.
I don't know about that, old man. For sure. Yeah. I mean, if anybody's going to do it too, if anybody's going to, dictate their situation, you could definitely imagine how Dion and Shador are probably going to LeBron that NFL draft this year.
In a general sense, right? If we were to look around every NFL team, how many? I guess you could say how many teams and how many team fan bases think that we have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year?
I think every year there's probably realistically, from like a front office perspective, there's probably like 6 to 8, if I had to guess, that really, honestly, truly believe that they can win a Super Bowl. Fan bases, it's probably 12.
Sure. Let's just do it as a combo.
Okay.
As
so it's got Venn diagram's got to fit into both.
Got to be both.
I mean, Chiefs undoubtedly, right?
I got them here.
Okay.
Ravens, yes, for sure. Falcons, I find to be interesting because we're just
talking this year, right? We're not talking general fan,
because Kirk ain't going to play for a long time.
They definitely expected success. I don't know if they expected Super Bowl, but
Kirk ain't going to play for that much longer.
Sure, yeah, why not?
Bills, yes. Bengals, I think into the season.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That's 4. Bears, no.
No, they didn't expect.
I don't know what to do with the Browns. They can't.
They maybe did. They maybe did based off of, if I had to guess, if I were a Browns fan and we had 5 quarterbacks last year, Joe Flacco led us to a playoff game, and we get Deshaun Watson, our supposed franchise quarterback, back, I think the Browns might have thought that there was a chance that they could win a Super Bowl this year.
That's 5 already.
Yeah.
That's 5 already.
We're just AFC.
Cowboys, yes,
I
obviously.
mean, they just,
Broncos, no. I already said Bears. Lions, yes.
Yep.
Texans, yes.
Texans, they probably thought there was a chance. Yeah.
Or still think, right?
Yeah,
they're in a good position right now. That's 8 teams. Packers.
I will say I saw a lot of preseason NFC Championship Packers, so I'll say
We can't put the Texans and not the Packers.
I don't know how realistic they ever really thought it was, but I'm sure that there was some people in that office.
That's 9. Colts, no.
Rams,
I don't know.
Rams, it wouldn't surprise me if they think so.
I'll
say no, but I don't. It wouldn't surprise me.
Jaguars, no. They can barely win a game.
No.
Vikings, no.
No, they didn't expect this.
Chiefs, yes. That's 10.
Yes, undoubtedly.
Saints, I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think the expectation was that high.
Raiders, no. Or it shouldn't be.
No.
Giants, no. Chargers,
Giants, no. Chargers, no.
Eagles,
no. Chargers didn't expect this.
Eagles, yes. That makes 11.
Yep. Eagles, yes.
Here's a good one. Dolphins.
Yes. I think so.
That's 12.
I think so. I think Jets too. I don't know if we said Jets.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Niners. That's 13.
That's 13. So it's pretty much half the league.
No Patriots. Seahawks.
I don't think so. I don't think they thought a Super Bowl was possible.
Yes.
Jets, yes.
14. Bucks.
Maybe quietly.
Yeah.
14.5.
Yeah, 14.5. Steelers, no.
No, I don't think so.
Commanders,
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
no.
Commanders, no.
Tennessee Titans, no. So about half the league.
So about half the league, realistically, fan base and front office probably believes
things
going
fall
into the
our
season.
way.
Yeah. Which is interesting. I think it's probably good. It probably maybe shows at least some of the health of the league as we kind of went to, which quarter, we talked when we did top 10 quarterbacks and things like that. We were a bit, or at least I was a bit critical of, I kind of felt like I thought there would be more elite quarterbacks in the league, but if half the teams in the league, realistically, I feel like we were being fairly reasonable with those. I don't think any of those are out of line. It really is telling that maybe the league as a whole this year is a bit deeper. And it's kind of what Whitey's been saying too. It's not necessarily that there's this elite class and then, a bunch of very clear defined tiers. It does seem like maybe it is, a couple teams up top, but for the most part, there's a really, really big and a pretty strong middle class in the NFL where realistically, maybe that is why we see, not that the Cardinals are a team that we listed in that, but why the Cardinals can be so scrappy is because, they have a ton of talent too, and they still are building towards things. And realistically, there's not that big of a talent gap between team to team. And really, maybe it is coaching that really does separate a lot of these teams, but it is pretty crazy to really go through it all and feel like, half the league probably did think that they were going to win.
916 UPS Chris. Niners window definitely not closed. One game out of first place in their division. As much as I enjoy watching them lose, they aren't out of it. I believe the Lions D gets better and they have a shot. I also think the Vikings are going to be up there, keep up the great defense, and Darnold just needs to stay decent. I think
for that one.
I think full blown window. One of the biggest teams. I think the Lions have to be smelling blood in the water as far as the Niners are concerned. But I think with the Lions, I still don't trust that defense.
I don't trust that team. I mean, I don't trust Jared Goff. I don't trust that defense. The only thing I trust is that offensive line. And that's really honestly about it. I think Ben Johnson after I'm not going to talk about the Lions window because I don't know what that team's going to look like without Ben Johnson there. Ben Johnson, I assume, is going to get a job this offseason. And absolutely.
You got to do it this
season. I don't know when it's going to be for them.
And I know people hate the only successful revenge season I can think of off the top of my head, and this is super random, but they're in the playoffs right now. It's when the Royals lost to the Giants in 2014 and then went back to the World Series and won the World Series in 2015. How many successful revenge seasons have actually happened? And it depends on your definition of revenge because the Lions didn't get to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They lost in a terrible fashion.
Yeah, I think that would classify, though. That was a pretty big L that they took, especially for that franchise, too.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest game of their entire franchise. I think that would classify, but the Spurs after the Ray Allen shot go in next year and just absolutely water out the Miami Heat. It really doesn't happen all too often. You could argue maybe Drew Holiday this season to an extent, him kind of getting revenge on Milwaukee, but that doesn't really super count. It doesn't really happen too often in sports, but it's definitely a narrative that we run with all the time is that, hey, these guys, they're on their revenge tour and hey, look out, they're still thinking about the loss from last season. We can say the Niners, right? After the Brock Purdy.
Because after the Brock Purdy thing, that was supposed to be it. Coming up next, we get into part 2 of our NBA GM survey, most likely to win the whole thing and some other fun tidbits to get to. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family
They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
You've seen him on the roast of Tom Brady, and you've heard him host the #1 podcast in the world, Kill Tony. Now see Tony Hinchcliffe perform stand-up comedy live at the venue at Thunder Valley, Friday, October 11th. The man behind millions of views worldwide and countless sold-out shows brings his stand-up set to you, Tony Hinchcliffe. Critics call him a must-see. Don't miss this stand-up comedian, writer, podcast host, and professional wordsmith live in Sacramento. Tony Hinchcliffe. Get tickets at ThunderValleyResort.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all.
Model year-end savings are going on now. It's savings you just can't say no to.
Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
When is the best time to buy a new air conditioning system? Right now with Bell Brothers end of summer clear out sale. You'll get up to $2,700 off a top of the line AC system. Plus no payments or interest for 1 year for qualified buyers. Call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or go online to thenosurpriseguys.com. Because we only have a limited number of new top-of-the-line AC systems. And when they're gone, this offer is over. Need more info? Call us. Estimates and second opinions are always free. So call now for up to $2,700 off a new premium AC system. And no payments or interest for 1 year. Plus, if you call now, we'll throw in your choice of a free smart thermostat or indoor air purification system. But you have to call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or online at thenosurpriseguys.com. Remember, end of summer is the best time to buy and save on a new AC system. TheNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
I have been touched by Raiders Twitter.
I'm sorry?
This is from Master Marco Polo.
Oh.
On Raiders Twitter. You guys ready for this? This one, okay. Let's see how crazy this sounds when I say it out loud. Because
Master Marco Polo?
From Master Marco Polo.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha. How crazy
Let's think about this now. Raider fans, listen up. NFL fans, listen up. From Master Marco Polo. Plot twist, ... Salah fired. Jets rebuild. Aaron Rodgers traded to the Raiders.
Oh, my.
Davante stays.
Oh.
QB problem solved.
Oh.
Raiders playoffs loading.
Huh.
That might not be the craziest thing I've ever
I actually
heard.
love that outcome. I love that outcome a lot. Because, like, what do the Jets do? Like,
They're-
you know,
yeah, what are you
like,
gonna do now?
What's the point? Like, you're already 2-3. Do you feel like your season can be saved at this point? Like, I mean, if you do, then sure, absolutely keep running Aaron Rodgers. He's 40 years old. I don't know really what the point's going to be if you're just going to be a first or second round elimination, but Why not? Yeah, I guess. But you should try and, the Raiders are definitely desperate right now. They're looking for a quarterback. They have absolutely no semblance of a long-term answer of quarterback. We were just talking about Shador, maybe in a weird way. It does give you a little bit of a bridge to draft a quarterback this year. And if the Raiders outperform a pick that's worthy of a top quarterback, wait till next year too.
Yeah.
I think it is a little bit of a luxury. It's kind of perfect. It is a little bit perfect. The thing is if that Davante Antonio Pierce relationship is just too strained, and that's the part that we just don't know yet, is really where the state of that relationship is currently at. But the last time we heard, didn't sound like it was in a great place, and Antonio Pierce doesn't really seem like the kind of guy who's going to apologize just for the sake of apology.
I'm just saying.
I like it. I really like that. I think that makes,
because what else are they going to do?
Both teams. I don't know, because, again, it doesn't do the Jets any good. It probably does them a lot worse, honestly, to win like 6-7 games and have Aaron Rodgers, because then it's really pointing at, oh, no, it's a Jets problem. It's not you had one of the, I'm throwing air quotes here, one of the best quarterbacks of this generation as your quarterback, even though he's 40 years old coming off an Achilles, and you still managed to only win 7 games. Jets gonna Jets. And so, if that's going to be the outcome anyway, maybe you are better off just wiping your hands of the situation and saying, look, we're done with the Aaron Rodgers business. It didn't work out here. Vegas is definitely its own little sideshow that he can enjoy and run the town of Vegas, because the New York Aaron Rodgers connection really probably was never one that was destined to be a great one anyway. I think it does make a lot of sense. I actually don't think it's crazy at all. I'm all in. I'm all in. I love it. I think that's great.
There you go. All right.
Who doesn't it make sense for?
It makes sense for everybody.
Come on. Everybody's happy.
Let's get back into this NBA GM survey, Chris. What you got?
Okay. Let's do it. NBA survey. Here we are back again, and we're just doing more general, broad NBA topics. Kings not featured in any of these, though. I got a little surprise for you with one of them with a nice little Kings hat tip. Which team will win the 2025 NBA Finals? Again, 32 GMs were surveyed by NBA.com, and the results were not surprising at all. The Boston Celtics received 83% of that vote, OKC 13%, Dallas Mavericks 3% last year. The Nuggets and the Celtics both received 33% of the vote. So a massive shift in voting there. Celtics again now at 83% of votes after being 33% last year. Who will win the 2024-25 MVP? Well, it's going to be your guys' guy, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, receiving 40% of the preseason votes from GMs. Maybe if you're out in Reno or up in certain places in Tahoe, maybe if Shai's numbers aren't reflecting that, maybe you look at that number. Luka is number 2 at 30%, Joel 7%, Nikola Jokic 7%, Jason Tatum 7% as well. Last year, Nikola Jokic led the voting with 43%. If you were to start an NBA franchise today, I'll just ask you this question. Doesn't really matter what they answered. If you were to start, Alan Stiles, a franchise today and could sign any player in the NBA, who would it be?
It'd have to be Wemby.
And that's what the GM said, 77% of the vote. Victor Wembanyama, number 2. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 10%. Nikola Jokic, 10%. Number 4, Luka Doncic, 3%. Last year, Jokic led it with 33%. So definitely seems like Wemby's going to be the answer for that question at least the next 6 or 7, maybe 10 years.
Seems like
that's absolutely crazy.
This Shai Gilgeous-Alexander thing.
A lot of hype.
They're not worried about.
GMs love Shai.
Yeah, they are not worried about what he's going to be.
How about this? Which rookie, and this is the other rookie question, not rookie of the year, but which rookie will be best 5 years down the line? Who will be the rookie that is the best NBA player in 5 years? I thought this was a really, really cool, interesting question. The answer may surprise some, but not GMs who voted him for 2024-25 Rookie of the Year as well. The rookie that GMs see best player in 5 years is Reed Shepherd.
Wow.
By far, receiving 43% of the vote. At number 2 was Stephon Castle, receiving 17% of the vote. Zachary Reese-Shea, 13%. Bub Carrington tied for 4th with 7%. Alex Sarr with 7%. Some of the others receiving votes, your guy Matas Buzelis, Donovan Clingan, Ron Holland, and Dalton Connect. No featuring of one Tejan Selon.
I think no one thinks he's going to be very good.
Crazy how that happens. Last year, Victor Wembanyama, 90% of the vote. 5 years ago, again, the question, which rookie will be best in 5 years? Zion Williamson won that one, 70% of the vote he received 5 years ago. I would have to look at that draft, but I'm pretty sure. Oh, Ja, yeah, I guess. I don't know where that currently stands.
It was Ja until this injury stuff.
Absolutely.
And the other.
Absolutely. There's some other stuff. Here's the one that's for you, Alan. This is my favorite question.
Okay.
At least, no, it's not my favorite question. It's my favorite answer. Who's the best? Who's the best international player not in the NBA? 30% of votes. Sasha Vezenkov.
What does that mean?
30% of votes for the best non-NBA player playing internationally. Sasha Vezenkov receives 30% of the vote.
That's just
Nikola Mirotic, 23%. Eddie Tavares, 17%. And the rest of them I cannot pronounce, so we will not go to there.
That's just
others receiving vote is Boban. Shout out Boban. Nikola Mirotic won the award last year, 37%. So a lot of people, a lot of GMs out there, they're saying the Kings did him dirty.
Yeah.
And that they don't know the talent they
sign
have.
him.
Somebody sign him.
Then sign him.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah, he ran from Toronto. He literally ran.
He ran from the grind. He said, I do not have a passport. A Canadian. I don't want to stay here.
I don't want
to
be here. Please get me
absolutely
out of here.
Crazy. I think that's very, very telling, though. I think that I'm reading that as a lot of GMs across the league just think that he was misused in Sacramento. The fact that they still think he is the best available talent out there, and I mean, he's an MVP. I mean, undoubtedly on the international stage, he's great. But the fact that they still are holding out hope for him that much, I don't know. It's just interesting. I'm not calling it a career for Sasha.
Or that none of these guys. None of these guys are very good.
No, I don't think any of them are the next Victor Wembanyama or anything like that. It's actually interesting that Wemby doesn't receive the best international player from last year. Nikola Mirotic again, 37% in last year's one. And we have a couple more here if we want to do. Let's see here. Who is the best defensive player in the NBA? Victor Wembanyama gets 40% of the vote. The best perimeter defender is Drew Holiday, 43%. No mention of Keon Ellis anywhere in any of these defensive polls for best perimeter. Didn't even receive a vote. Other guys that did receive a vote: Caruso, Herb Jones, Lou Dort, OG Anunoby, Jaden McDaniels, Marcus Smart, Derek White. Most versatile defender, no Keon Ellis even mentioned. Again, Giannis 17%, OG 13, Victor Wembanyama 13, Bam 10%, then a bunch of guys at 7%. Again, no mention of Keon Ellis. Who is the best defensive team in the entirety of the NBA? The Boston Celtics received 57% of that vote. Timberwolves down to 23%. So there you go. And then we have a couple more in the next segment as well.
We'll get to it on the other side. That all sounded pretty chalk to me. I did. And I'm done with it. You know what? If I'm going 83% or whatever it was for the Celtics to win the whole thing.
It's crazy. I'm
taking the
crazy.
field. I'm sorry. I'm taking the field on that. And I don't know if it's going to be the Knicks because the Knicks have one of the weirdest rosters ever known to man. But I'm taking the field, man.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I also mentioned, I didn't say it because it's a little confusing, but they did a vote as they did for who will win the NBA Finals. They did a who will be the best team in each conference. Funny enough, the Kings received a vote, but they did not finish as a top 8 team, if that makes sense. So the Warriors got a 4th place vote. The Pelicans got a 4th place vote. The Grizzlies got 1 second place vote. 2 third place votes and 3 4th place votes. So the Kings must have only gotten 1 4th place vote.
Ridiculous.
So they do not technically, by the look of this, finish in the top 8 rankings.
You hear that, guys?
Yeah. Put that on the whiteboard.
You hear that? Take that for data.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Take that for data. Coming up next, we finish up our NBA GM survey, the second part of it, with the best head coach. best active player that'll make a head coach someday. We get to some fun ones here. All right.
Yeah, these are the fun ones.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by RC Willey Home Furnishings.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday forecast looks bright and sunny. We'll have light winds throughout the daytime, and it's still going to feel very summer-like with high temperatures today in the mid to upper 90s, expecting overnight lows to drop back to lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
This week at RC Willey, enjoy exclusive fall savings. Get $50, $100, or $200 off your purchase. Whether you're refreshing your bedroom, updating your kitchen, or adding warmth to your living room, RC Willey has you covered. Visit RC Willey today and fall in love with your home. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards concert tickets for your daughter to see that singer who sings about painful breakups. And one song will inspire your little beauty to break up with that beast she's dating, Brian. Instead, she'll date someone who's nice and worthy of her love, not someone who addresses you and your spouse as bro. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in all states.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
Talking Aaron Rodgers to the Raiders as we get back to this NBA GM survey and finish that out. 916, that's a terrible idea. Rodgers is toxic and definitely not a long-term option for the Raiders. Also, what would the trade be? The trade that I saw from, what was his name?
Raiders love toxic.
Well, Master Marco Polo said that the Jets would get a 5th, but I think you got to give the Jets at least a 3rd.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
You got to give the Jets a 3rd.
I feel like if the Raiders are asking for a 2nd for Davante, not that, I mean, it's not 100% apples to apples, but aging receiver, very aging quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it just makes sense.
I do too.
I don't know what else the Raiders are going to do. Like, what's the alternate for the Raiders?
Well,
Let's
I guess
just continue to.
Yeah, I guess that's
be
the thing,
lifeless.
right? You have basically 2 options. You're either building up a quarterback, or you think you have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you have neither, then I would go to the 916 and say, okay, well, you better lose the rest of these games.
Exactly. Yeah, because
this is what we've seen before. They fall into 6-7 wins, and they give you hope to make the playoffs. Then they don't.
Yeah.
And then they also miss out on the QBs. So
That's
you
what
have
happened
to
last
stop
offseason.
doing that.
Yeah, pretty much. That's almost exactly what happened. I mean, how much different would this Raiders situation be if we could say, hey, they still have Michael Penix waiting, and
Right.
maybe this would be the week to bring him out. I feel like, that the Raiders desperately just need some form of something to say about their quarterback position, because right now they're getting by. They literally have the ultimate placeholder.
Yeah. I think if you thought that the Raiders could do something this season with Gardner Minshew, you should be all in to get Aaron Rodgers, and you figure the rest out later.
Yeah. I mean, it's not great. It's not perfect. Yeah, obviously, Aaron's got to learn a whole new system, a whole new playbook if this were to happen, and that's probably why it's not going to happen. But again, it's better than the alternative, I think.
You're not in a terrible position right now. Rasheed Rice is done for the season.
Yeah.
So they're missing Hollywood Brown, Rasheed Rice. Is Pacheco done for the season?
He's on IR. I don't think he's done for the season.
He's done for a while.
I think they said, obviously at least 4 weeks. I think it's 4 to 6 is the time.
If
Maybe
you
6 to 8.
think that maybe you sneak one. The Bengals are down.
Yeah.
Yes, the Ravens look good, but the AFC in general doesn't look like it looked last season, right? The Texans do look really good, and the Bills, we don't know what to do with the Bills. They need a wide receiver. So if you think the Chargers are still coming into form with Jim Harbaugh, it's not a crazy idea. It's not a crazy idea, but if you don't want it, then Raiders, you better lose.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. You better lose because you're going to have to pony up if you're trying to trade up to get into that position because everyone and their mother knows that you need a QB. That's just the reality of the situation. All right, Chris, let's finish up the GM survey.
Yeah.
What you got?
Yeah, let's do it. And by the way, I was also just thinking on that, like, we know the Panthers, if they finish number one, they're probably going to be taking a quarterback. And obviously the most teams that, and like if the Browns finish at the bottom, they definitely might take a quarterback.
Yep.
Let's get to the rest of this GM survey. These are more of the fun questions. Who is the best coach in the NBA? I don't know if there's really much of any debate anymore about this. It's Eric Spoelstra is listed as the best head coach in the NBA. Mark Daigneault, reigning coach of the year, gets 17% of the vote. Steve Kerr still holding on with 3% of the vote from NBA GMs. Mike Budenholzer, funny enough, as he is just hired, gets a vote from Phoenix. And Chris Finch of the Minnesota Timberwolves also gets a vote. Eric Spoelstra won this award last year, or this poll last year, 73%. So it seems like he lost a vote this year. This one I really, really like, and I'm almost kind of pseudo-fascinated. Not going to say pseudo, but I am very fascinated with this topic in general. Which current NBA player will make the best head coach someday? Number one, I feel like it's the guy that's been voted number one for a while, Chris Paul, receiving 30% of the vote. Number two, former Sacramento King, Garrett Temple, receiving 20% of the vote. I can definitely see Garrett Temple being a head coach. Mike Conley receives 13% of the votes. TJ McConnell gets 7%. Fred Van Vliet gets 7%. I
thought you were going to say HB at
He
first.
just received a vote. Bradley Beal received a vote. Jalen Brunson received a vote. Drew Holiday received a vote. Al Horford, who is no longer active, received a vote, as did Tyus Jones and Kyle Lowry. Last year, Chris Paul got 20% of the vote and led the race. Any of those names stick out to you as a surprise, or any of those specifically do you feel like they're going to be I don't even know about an excellent head coach, but does anybody scream to you, hey, I could see them being a coach one day?
Well, probably Chris Paul for sure.
Yeah,
he's either going into broadcast or he's coaching.
Yeah,
one of the two. From the names that you said, I think Harrison Barnes would probably be a good coach. I think even keel guys like that are the best head coaches. I have no clue if he wants to be, but I could see HB, Coach HB. You know, he's done it all. He's done it all. He's played in big markets, smaller markets, and he kind of knows the game. The game, he was really a part of the game as it was transitioning to what it is now. I think HB could be a good head coach.
Very random. I feel like HB might be the tallest coach in the league. We don't really have like forwards.
What do you mean?
I don't think like who
is D'Antoni still in the league? He looked tall.
I don't think he's 6'8" though. It feels like most of the the players that become coaches are guards. You have the Steve Nash, you have Jason Kidd, Chauncey Billups. Like, you don't often get
He's not a coach right now, but Monty Williams 6'8".
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Monty's an ex-player too, so that makes sense. Yeah, I just feel like you don't get many tall coaches like that. So I think that's the biggest thing holding HB back. I think that's the biggest thing holding him back. And they would probably show his suits pregame too. He would have to come suited and booted. We know he's ready for that.
Yes.
Which team is most fun to watch? I hate this answer so much. The answer is, unfortunately, the Indiana Pacers, 37%. I remember when the Kings were number one on this a couple years ago. Number one, 37%. OKC, number two, 27%. Denver Nuggets, 10%. Warriors, 10%. What? Come on, get out of here. That's a step.
It's the chef.
Number 5 is the Boston Celtics, 7%. Dallas Mavericks, Lakers, and Suns also receiving votes. The Nuggets were number one last year.
The Mavericks are not fun to watch.
They are not fun to watch at all. Nothing really is fun about just watching Luka dribble, and shoot and complain. And
that's terrible.
Not super great. Which team's level of success this season is toughest to predict? Number 1 is the Los Angeles Lakers. I think we touched on that one. And this one is really just free reign for GMs to complain about the NBA. What rule regarding play, schedule, draft lottery, playoff format, roster construction, etc., most needs to change? NBA GMs, when asked, they voted number 1 answer, 20% of the vote, roster construction. Apron rules / trade math makes too restrictive or should be indexed to teams' market, which is very, very interesting. That last part, that maybe, it's kind of based off of the revenue that you bring in. That's
Right.
kind of saying a little bit more so like the baseball model, if I'm not mistaken. Number 2 was the schedule, fewer games and or back-to-backs that received 17%. And then a large tie with game flow, reduced stoppages and replays, playoff format 1-16, or let top seeds choose opponents.
Oh, yeah.
Receive 13%. Free agency before the draft receives 7%, and return to a one-day draft receive 7% as well. Some of the other things that receive votes: adding a 3rd round to the draft lottery format, expanded all-star rosters to 15 players. Who cares? Elam ending. Let's see here. Fouls on lobs should be shooting fouls. That's really interesting. Playoff eligibility for two-way players. Remove divisions. Last year, this question was not asked, so this is the first time that they have asked this question.
Top 16.
So there you go. I like the one.
Choosing who you face is crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like a team up top that wants to do that.
Yeah, and it's also disrespect because if
NBA should do it though. That's so drama. That is so drama filled.
We want to beat you.
I don't care that the Kings are the 16 seed. I want to play the Nugget. Like that's gonna lead sports. And was this disrespect? And then you end up losing that series? Are you kidding? Oh my god,
we need it.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Call it in, commission.
And a shorter season coming up next. NFL Blitz. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for 3, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined, as always, by my co-anchor, Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel, chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
24 monthly bill credits. Eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off the device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
True fans of the game should pick up a copy of The Match, The Day the Game of Golf Changed Forever, written by Mark Frost, who also wrote The Greatest Game Ever Played. The book was published more than 10 years ago, but it tells the true story of a remarkable round of golf played by legendary professionals Ben Hogan and Byron Nelson against 2 of the sport's greatest amateurs, Ken Venturi and Harvey Ward. Hogan, who avoided playing with amateurs at all costs, was hoodwinked into playing by Eddie Lowry, Francis Ouimet's diminutive caddy, who at that point was a successful San Francisco businessman. The match, with its many wagers, was set to be played at Cypress Point Club, and although the exciting 18 holes unfold with each turn of a page, it's the backstory of each of the players that makes the words come alive. My friend Ken Venturi, the last survivor of that foursome, told me it was a dream match, and so good even fiction couldn't touch it. It's a fabulous read. For Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Get ready to hit the gas on the best power tool deals of the year at Fasteners Tool Outlet. We're revving up the savings with our full throttle one-day DeWalt sale in Sacramento on October 12th only. We are slashing prices on a huge selection of DeWalt power tools like cordless drills, saws, combo kits, and more at costs you won't believe. Get better tools for better prices only at Fasteners Inc., Sacramento's top destination for DeWalt tools. Again, that's October 12th only on Power Inn Road. For more info, go to fastenersinc.net.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. October 12th is a date you're not going to want to miss.
It's homecoming here in Davis, and we face off with rival Cal Poly at 4 p.m. for the Golden Horseshoe. It's also Junior Aggiette Day. So, kids, if you want to perform on the field with our cheer and dance teams, visit ucdavisaggies.com/tickets and sign up today. Let's pack the stands for this rivalry game and celebrate what it means to be a part of this Davis community. Go Ags.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
From the 916, AB 916. I wouldn't mind renting Rodgers for a season. He already has familiarity with Davante and the Luke Getsy offense. They spent a few years together in Green Bay.
Might even be 2 years.
Yeah.
We might get him this year and next year.
AB 916, the AFC. It's wide open. I mean, you got the Chiefs just way in front of everybody else, but everybody, all the other teams, I guess you could put the Texans close. Are they the second best AFC team?
Probably.
Texans.
Probably, yeah. Somewhere around there.
Get in there.
Your preference.
Right. Chargers don't look as like I don't think anyone thought they would be world beaters. I think a lot of us just didn't know what they would look like in their first year. And the Broncos, man, who is going to get these wild card spots? Could it be you Raiders? If you get one, Aaron Rodgers. All right, it's time for NFL Blitz.
Midway presents NFL Blitz.
Chris, we'll start here. The Vikings continue to roll as they deplane the Jets. Don't drink your Tecate too quickly. As they deplane the Jets out in the UK. What did you think about what you saw from your Vikings taking down the Jets?
The defense continues to look great for sure. Sam Darnold continues to just continue to skate by. It was the worst performance that he's had all season in London. I'll just chalk it down to the fact that it was in London, but I feel like I'm the only person who's concerned about Sam Darnold. And I think everybody's just looking at the Vikings record and saying, oh my gosh, what a great team. And they are. I mean, everybody, the defense has been elite this year, absolutely elite. The receivers have definitely still been productive, but this guy Sam Darnold cannot get the guys the ball. You want to talk about a front runner. I mean, these past 2 weeks against the Jets and then against the Packers, the Vikings get up huge, so much so that maybe you can argue that, hey, you take your foot off the gas a little bit. They have let these teams completely back into the game. The Packers, I almost thought the Vikings were going to lose. I almost thought the Vikings were going to lose to the Niners as well. And then a bit of a scary comeback from the Jets. Just wasn't enough. And I'm growing increasingly concerned. I think it's going to be a playoff team, but I just don't really have many hopes for when the Vikings are in the playoffs. I just think if you get into a shootout, I do not trust Sam Darnold to continually make plays.
Yeah. Look, I think that the reason I would feel better about the Vikings than you do is all the things we are continuing to say. I don't like the fact that they might have to face the Niners again, because I think it's tough to beat a team 2 times in one season. Sure. But besides the Niners, you look at the rest of the NFC, that Vikings team is going to score points against the Lions. And on the other side, do you trust Jared Goff, going up against that Vikings
defense? I trust him more
defense?
than I trust Matt Stafford. I trust Sam Darnold. Absolutely.
Well, but you don't have to. Sam Darnold don't have to face the Vikings defense. He's facing the Lions.
But he's got to make plays. I mean,
yeah.
He's done well as they've been ahead, but the Vikings actually have only been down, I think, for 2 total minutes this season. I just want to see what they look like when they're in a shootout or when they're down by 7 at least, if not 10. I just don't think it's going to look like the same team at all.
Yeah, and you have, the NFC South with the Falcons and the Buccaneers and what the Commanders are going to do, as well as the Cowboys. I just think that, and Eagles and Niners, of course, but I just think that the Vikings, it might just be the right season to be good enough. That's where I think that, and it could be the Vikings, could be a bunch of other teams, but I would be a little bit higher on the Vikings, your Vikes, than you are. Next up, Chris, rookie QBs keep balling. Bears, Broncos, and Commanders all doing their thing. We've talked about how this class is the class that a lot of people thought 2021 was going to be. Are you still – obviously they're doing it in different ways, and we're putting Bo Nix below Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Jaden Daniels has had the more explosive plays, but a lot of people are starting to feel better about Caleb Williams and what the Bears are doing.
Yeah, I still want to see it one more week from the Bears. You absolutely dismantle the Panthers. You know, it's the worst team in the NFL from head to toe. I just want to see a little bit more. I think I've been very impressed with Caleb's big performances, and I think I said earlier this week, like when he's good and he looks like college Caleb, I get it completely, but I don't know if he can play like a slowed down, methodical game if he's not airing it out. I just kind of want to see a shootout between Caleb and a different team. I want to see what he looks like when he's got to make plays. That's kind of the final step for him. But Jaden McDaniels, that dude is ridiculous. I've got no questions about him. He's looked phenomenal. And, again, health is going to be the main thing with him, I think.
Next up, Jags no longer winless. The Jags finally get their W, Chris, and they go on to beat the Colts. The Colts rocking with Flacco, and Jags still almost found a way to lose, but they did win that one 37-34. Does it change how you feel about anything? You got Trevor Lawrence here, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. By the way, if you are a Travis Etienne guy or person on fantasy, probably move on from Travis Etienne. Tank Bigsby had some ridiculous runs, and it feels like Tank Bigsby is basically soared past Etienne on the depth chart. 101 yards, 2 touchdowns, so he did his thing. But yeah, Chris, any takeaways from Brian Thomas? 122 yards, 1 touchdown. Yeah. It feels like the Jags just have been playing the wrong people. Tank Bigsby is actually your number 1 running back. Brian Thomas might actually be your number 1 receiver, young guy, rookie dude, over Christian Kirk. Maybe the Jags are just, this is a tough season for them, Chris, but maybe they're just trying to figure out who they're going to be moving forward.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. They have some opportunities looking ahead. They have the Bears this week. They have the Patriots after that. Then they play the Packers, then at Eagles versus Vikings, at Lions. So, I mean, they have a chance at least to even up or at least get to 3-4 these next couple weeks. Mm-hmm. After that, I mean, it's a brutal schedule. I don't know. Yeah, it might be a wrap for Doug Peterson, and he might be the next coach fired if they don't win these next 2 games. It wouldn't surprise me if, we read the stat out earlier. 3 coaches have been fired after coming back from London.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are in. I think they're doing their London tour. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have 2 straight games in London. If I'm not mistaken, yes, they do. They have 2 straight games in London versus the Bears, then versus the Patriots. So if you lose either of those 2, you're done. If you're Doug Peterson,
you got to win one.
I think you need to win both.
Yes, yeah, but maybe they hold on a little bit longer because he's got that Super Bowl. That Super Bowl. Next, Chris, Texans best Bills. Some questionable decisions from the Bills.
Terrible.
Late in the game, but the Texans able to again squeak away with the win. I know I haven't been very high on the Texans, but all they do is, I think I picked against the Texans in this game, but all they do is continue to win games, and they're doing it in a different way. CJ Stroud isn't sneaking up on people the same way he was last season, but Stephon Diggs gets that revenge game that we mentioned. I don't think the Texans are messing with the Chiefs. I mean, maybe the Texans can beat the Chiefs because of that defense and who the Chiefs are missing. I guess they're the number 2 AFC team. It's either them or the Ravens, but I'm still not convinced on the Texans, man. I'll be honest with you.
No, they don't win pretty. They really don't. Like, as dominant as it feels like they should be, they just managed to kind of squeak out these games. And last year, I think they won 9 or 10 games last year. I feel like, they won the playoff game and they got hot late in the season. I think people kind of, and myself included, definitely view them as maybe a little bit better than they are. But yeah, they just keep on winning, much like the Chiefs. I mean, they kind of play that style of play where they make it dirty, but they know that their quarterback at the end of the day can pull one out when he needs to. And CJ's been great at it. So, yeah, I mean, I thought the Bills pretty much lost the game. I don't think it was necessarily the Texans won it, but they still managed to get it done. So you got to give them credit. And yeah, I think they're probably the second best team in the AFC right now.
Bengals bungle the Ravens, and the Bengals, Chris, another game they really needed and unable to do it. And we can look at their schedule as well, but I don't know, man. We know that the Bengals can get hot, but this might be just too much for even Joe Burr. It's just they really needed that W.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it here. They are last in the AFC right now by all the tiebreakers and everything. They are the worst team in the AFC, 0-3 in conference. It might be. Let me look at the conference or the division standings here. I know they're in a the Ravens, thankfully for them, for the Bengals, lost, and so they're still 3-2. They have a little bit of a cushion. We'll see which way the Steelers go, as they've lost 2 in a row now. I don't want to quit them. I just don't want to quit them. Yeah. I think their team is actually good. I just think that they've gotten some unfortunate results, but at some point you lose too many and you put yourself too far behind the 8 ball. I don't know if you can come back. I think they're going to make it to the last week of the season, and I think that's going to determine it. It just feels like the Bengals aren't going to give up, and they're too talented to just continue to lose games. I just think that they're probably going to be just short, but I still think that they're a really good team.
Yeah, I think they are too, but it's if it's too hard to even get to the playoffs. Yeah. You basically, and they love people, athletes love that term and coaches love the term. Oh, we've basically been in the team that says, oh, we've basically been in the playoffs for the last 5 weeks. How often does that team actually win the whole thing? That's not a good recipe. I'm
looking at it. They lost to the Chiefs by 1. They lost to the Commanders by 5. And they lost to the Ravens by 3. They've lost by 9 points. Their last 3 games, they've lost by 9 points. Yeah. You throw the Patriots game in there, they've lost 4 games by a total of 15 points. Mm-hmm. They're so close. They just haven't been able to get it done. I'm looking at their schedule now. Maybe they go on a run at Giants, at Browns, versus Eagles, versus Raiders. Then they have to play at Ravens, at Chargers, versus Steelers, at Cowboys, at Titans, versus Browns, versus Broncos, at Steelers. I'm hearing a lot of wins still on the schedule for the Bengals. Maybe they can pick up themselves and manage to squeak into the final playoff spot. I'm not giving up on them yet. I just can't. I can't quit them.
We'll see if Chris is quitting the Cardinals. We'll finish our NFL Blitz
that's a tough
when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and, of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you target the right audience, build your leads, and crush your quota. Take your business to the next level. Our digital marketing strategies help grow awareness of your product or service, all while building trust in your business. Our approach involves leveraging multiple tools and strategies to deliver exceptional results that are customized to your unique business needs. Don't wait to run out of sales leads. Keep your business growing. Get started with aimyourdigital.com today.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all 4 arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Do you have old baseball cards and sports memorabilia from the 50s and 60s collecting dust in your closet? They could be very valuable in any condition. Find out at the Sports Cards Roadshow. We'll be in the Sacramento area to evaluate your old and modern sports cards. Visit sportscardsroadshow.com today to schedule your appointment. Ask about your free on-site sports card evaluation. For large vintage and modern collections, we can come to you. Skip the garage sale. Sports Cards Roadshow is buying. Call 1-800-560-3272 today or visit sportscardsroadshow.com.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
It's the Big Sky home opener for the Sacramento State Hornets this Saturday. 6 p.m. kickoff versus Eastern Washington. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Midway presents NFL Blitz. Oh, did he hammer him?
Let's finish up this NFL Blitz.
Oh, he just levels up.
Kyler carries the cards. Kyler Murray beats the San Francisco 49ers. Chris, he chunks up the deuces as he runs into the end zone. Obviously, we've talked plenty about the Niners side of this and how the Niners, they just have to be better. It can't happen. From the Cardinals side, are they convincing you to come back home? You thought maybe they could be a squirrely team. Do you need to see more, or was this a step in the right direction?
No, I mean, I have to personally quit them because it's a toxic relationship, and if I don't quit them, I feel like I'm just all year going to be going in and out of love with them. So I'm gonna stay out for my own mentals, but it was definitely impressive. I mean, if anything, it's everything that I thought was good about them. Everything that I believed in them at first is what they showed on Sunday, and it's just. It's going to be a really frustrating year. I don't know how they find consistency because it's not like you have the excuse of, oh, Kyler was out this week or they had Weapon X out this week and he came back. It just feels like, again, every single week they're Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know which team you're going to get. I couldn't live that way. It's really frustrating. Maybe they feel like they're another draft away from turning it around, but they just feel like they're floating to me. Like, I just don't know exactly what to do with the Cardinals. I have no idea how good they actually are. I don't know what their potential is. I don't know if they can continue to play spoilers to other teams or if this is just, hey, we're crazy familiar with this opponent and don't really fear them maybe the same way we would if we were playing the Eagles or the whatever, just any of the big name good teams in the league. I'm staying out on the Cardinals, but good win. Great win. Wouldn't surprise me if they have more.
Yeah, if it was any other elite NFC team, I'd probably believe it more. But to that point, they are the kind of the issue for the Niners, or one of the issues. They are the little Lego that the Niners continue to step on. So I'm not really buying the Cardinals. I think they just like to do this to the Niners. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
Next, Chris, the Seahawks keep messing around. It's a little early in the season to be looking at other scores, but once the Seahawks saw that the Niners lost, especially because I think the Niners, spoiler alert for our pick-up in a couple of days, I think the Niners are going to beat the Seahawks. So they have not played. Gino, what'd you say, is 0-3 against the Niners?
0-3, yeah.
They probably looked down and saw the Niners lost to the Cardinals, and they were kicking themselves. Because they could have
blown opportunity,
a huge blown opportunity. They could have had a little bit more breathing room, and you're doing it. It's not like you had. If you blow a game to an elite team, let's say, we had no business beating the Lions, but we were in it and we eventually lose, or we lost to the Pack. One thing, you lose to the Giants at home, and then you look up and you see the Niners lost to the Cardinals. I mean, I guess you're happy that the Niners didn't gain a game on you, but you're also thinking, we blew this, man. Completely. And now we got to deal with the ticked off Niners team coming up on Thursday. So we'll see how it works out for the Seahawks, but they just cannot, and I don't know if it's a Geno thing, he'll put up gaudy numbers, but they cannot put their foot on the gas and do what they need to do against any team. Any team, they're going to make it close, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at it too. And the real problem with the Seahawks, like you said, is they lost their opportunity to have a cushion. Now I'm looking at it. If the Niners beat the Seahawks on Thursday, the Niners will be back in first place in the division, and everything will be back to normal, and they'll be back to pretty much controlling their own destiny. And I think that's where it's going to be. The Seahawks really could have done themselves a lot of good by beating the Giants. It's not like we're saying, hey, go out there and really make a statement and take down the Lions or beat the Vikings or something like that. We're just saying beat the Giants, who looked great. They looked phenomenal. Not trying to take anything away. Daniel Jones looked incredible when I don't think anybody expected him to with Malik Neighbors out. But, man, come on, Seahawks. If you want to be taken seriously, you only had one loss going into that game. For it to be your second loss picked up against the Giants in that circumstance, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, like that could be the difference in the Seahawks season. Like having that one game gap between them and the Niners could have been huge, with an opportunity to even widen that gap on Thursday at home in Seattle. They blew it. They completely blew it. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if the Niners take the lead in the West and don't look back the rest of the season.
Next, speaking of the NFC West, the Packers pack up the LA Rams. I mean, the Packers, I don't know, Chris, I guess it's impressive when you go out and I believe they covered and you take care of business, but the Rams are just so downtrodden right now. I don't know what else to do with it. The Packers, I don't think are scaring people yet, but we'll see when their next big game is. I do think they can get back onto the hot pick sexy radar with a big game here. It looks like they're not. Well, here's the thing. This is great because now we find out if the Cardinals are actually worth anything.
Yeah.
Or if the Packers are actually worth anything, both ways. Cardinals at Packers, that's going to this weekend. Then after that, Texans at Packers. So we're going to know a lot more about these teams that have pretty good, they're taking care of business, but they don't seem elite. We will see who seems elite in a couple weeks here. But yeah, your Packers, Chris, taking care of business.
Got nothing to say about them. They look fine. I mean, they do look really good. They're really well coached. Jordan Love has looked decent this year for sure. I don't really know what to do with them in terms of like top end. I don't really know where I see their season potentially going. And with the Vikings being undefeated, I think the Lions are going to continue to win games. It's either going to be 3 teams make it out of the North, or maybe the Packers are going to be on the outside looking in. I'm surprised to see the Bears also at 3-2. It's a really, really tough division. I think it might be the most competitive. It is the most competitive division in football right now, with all the teams having at least 3 wins. Yeah, it's going to be a really, really fun season to just watch how that division in general shakes out. I think realistically, any of those teams can win the division. I'd probably have the Bears and Vikings last, but I think it could realistically be any of those teams.
Those North teams, AFC North and NFC North, both kind of doing their thing. All right, Chris, Cowboys break steel. They take down the Steelers Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh. Looks like Justin Fields is still taking first-team reps, but Russell Wilson is getting back out on the field. I don't think this proved anything about either team. We didn't learn anything about the Cowboys. We didn't learn anything about this. I mean, I guess the only thing we learned about the Steelers is that the Justin Fields thing is what a lot of people thought it initially was. I think if the Steelers did go out and beat the Cowboys Sunday Night Football, even though they were the slight favorites, I think we would have said, okay, maybe there's something to this, but this is what Tomlin teams do, the post Big Ben era, and they are who we thought they were.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with hindsight being 2020, finishing with 3-2 with your backup quarterback isn't bad. It depends how. Yeah. I guess we're going to get an answer to how good Russell Wilson is.
If he is the backup.
Because I don't know what they do if Russell Wilson is just average or like pretty much does what Justin Fields did. I don't know what they do. Like, do you just continue to roll with Russell Wilson? I mean, it's clear that they're kind of shoehorning him in here at least to get a look at their big acquisition. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. They were in no rush to bring him back. I kind of feel like it's just going to be more of the same. I don't know if they're necessarily going to be a better team. I think Russell Wilson-led teams tend to be very squirrely anyway. Like, they tend to kind of save things for the last possession, and then Russell do some 30-yard in the backfield scamper and then find somebody for a first down. I still don't like this team. I just don't like their offense. I know their defense is incredible. They continue to be incredible. I think as long as they remain healthy, they should be a problem. But I hate the style of play that their offense leads them to.
And last but not least, we already talked about Saints Chiefs. We are getting to news that just broke from Ian Rappaport. Drake May will start Sunday against Houston. The Patriots see what the other rookies are doing and say, you know what, Jacoby Brissett, that's enough. We've seen enough.
Yeah.
And I know we've gone back and forth, Chris, with a guy sitting and why they sit and why they don't. It just gets to a point where you also have to put some type of product that's exciting on the field. And Patriot fans, I know the fans have had a lot of success, so nobody feels bad for Patriots fans. But you, as the Patriots organization, you couldn't keep putting that product out there.
No.
You couldn't do it.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing to get excited about. Jacoby was throwing for like 130 yards a game or something. They're like, if you look at his numbers, it's absolutely insane. Just the little amount of stats that he was able to put up in those games. I guess the hope is
not a great offense.
It's not. No, it's terrible. I mean, KJ Osborne's their leading, their number one receiver. Their running back Ramondre's been good this season, not great.
He got benched at one point.
He did,
Ramondre.
yeah. I just, like you said. I mean, I think this is more for an entertainment thing. For hey, let's at least get him some reps. The rap about him coming into the draft was that he was the most raw prospect of them all. Has a lot of tools, but doesn't really know how to have it refined yet. We'll see. I mean, I was really big on Drake May going into the draft. I don't know if this Patriots situation is one that he's going to succeed in, though. He needs some help, and I don't think there's going to be any sort of relief. He might not even really finish the season with how much that line allows pressure.
Was he the one getting a couple comparisons to Josh Allen?
Yes, he was. Yeah, very big. He's like 6'4", 6'5", huge arm, really good athlete. Runs physically like Josh Allen. There's a lot of hope for him. A lot of hope.
Well, it gives me a reason to pay attention because I mean, when you pay for NFL ticket, you want just as many games that at least have some storylines. And Jacoby Brissett owes me money. That's how I see it.
Jacoby Brissett threw 2 touchdowns this season.
Can I ask this question?
17 sacks.
I know he does things the right way. I don't know Jacoby Brissett, but I'm sure he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Should he still be in the league at this point? I guess if he was
I guess as a backup, he just shouldn't be a starter.
But
yeah,
you can't.
He's better than Tyler Huntley.
Yeah,
he's better than Skylar Thompson. That's for sure.
Just give me Spencer Rattler.
You just love Spencer Rattler.
Just give me a young
guy team and just get Spencer
an expansion team.
We do, yeah, clearly.
Sacramento.
Let's get
NFL's next. What are we doing with Jacoby Brissett, man?
I think he's a really good backup, but more than a month for you. I think you quickly start to find out who he is, but he's somebody who can at least be a placeholder for you. But yeah, I mean, this was always going to be too much. This was already going to be too much.
He held the place all right. Coming up next, top stories at the top of the hour. The Savannah Bananas are taking over while Walker Buehler, the day before his start for the Dodgers, gets robbed. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Don't you deserve health care you can count on?
Well, you can count on United Healthcare. With Medicare plans that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow, you can enjoy reliable coverage and low out-of-pocket costs with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plans. Made for California, trusted everywhere. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today.
You've seen him on the roast of Tom Brady, and you've heard him host the #1 podcast in the world, Kill Tony. Now see Tony Hinchcliffe perform stand-up comedy live at the venue at Thunder Valley, Friday, October 11th. The man behind millions of views worldwide and countless sold-out shows brings his stand-up set to you, Tony Hinchcliffe. Critics call him a must-see. Don't miss this stand-up comedian, writer, podcast host, and professional wordsmith live in Sacramento. Tony Hinchcliffe. Get tickets at Thunder Valley Resort.
Made a Chevy Silverado blowout is on with $12,750 off MSRP. Every new 2024 Silverado half-ton LT in stock after rebates. Or choose $12,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 Silverado half-ton RST in stock after rebates. Exclusively at Made a Chevy at MadeAChevy.com. Sacramento's Silverado headquarters. Whatever Silverado you choose, you'll save thousands at Made a Chevy. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers. List radio 2010 model year or newer. Ends 10/31/24.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports 1140. Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Time for top stories at the top of the hour. We got some fun ones in here, Chris. Some of them are fun, some of them are not so fun. All right, Nate, let's hit it. Thank you. After winning WNBA Rookie of the Year, Caitlyn Clark will play in an LPGA Tour Pro-Am event ahead of the annual Anika driven by Gainbridge. Clark, who has a love for golf, played alongside Ludwig Aberg and Zach Johnson in the PGA Tour Pro-Am last year. You just know she's nasty in golf. I don't even need to
undoubtedly.
Yeah. You know she's very good. I don't know the Pro-Ams, maybe because it's Caitlyn Clark, it'll be aired. But I would definitely watch.
No, I think I heard or I saw tons of people on socials being like, "Oh, I can't believe this isn't being live streamed in 2024." And they're essentially trying to pressure the event into live streaming. I think it'd definitely be interesting. And while we're on the topic of Caitlyn Clark being ridiculous at other sports, it reminds me that during her freshman season in high school, she scored 26 goals in soccer in 6 games. 6 games. She scored 26 goals.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, she made All-State in 2017, and then just dropped it.
Yeah,
she said, I think I can do this basketball.
Generational athlete, if you will.
Pretty crazy.
There you go. Well, these guys are generational athletes in different ways. The Savannah Bananas have sold out several MLB stadiums. Now they are scheduling games at NFL venues, Chris. The hit sensation has 2025 stops planned for the Titans Nissan Stadium, the Panthers Bank of America Stadium, which probably will have more fans than the Panthers, and Clemson's Memorial Stadium as well. I get it. Obviously, if anybody gets the Savannah Bananas, I get it. I'm just trying. No, there's no but.
It sounds like there's a big but.
No, it's not a but. It's a what? How can this help baseball?
Yeah.
Because it's separate to me. This isn't helping baseball.
Right.
And even though they've had some former Major League Baseball players, I have no clue. Like the Harlem Globetrotters or And One didn't help the NBA, but the NBA didn't need help.
No.
I don't know how.
Great question.
Maybe Major League Baseball has to play one game.
Yes,
the
that's
World
it.
Series champ plays against the Savannah Bananas or something.
Make your All-Star game.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're not going to make it,
include them in the All. That's a great call. Include them in the All-Star game. Have the rookies play. I don't know. Because it's such an anomaly what they're doing. I mean, NFL stadiums.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's just completely separate to me. There are people that probably go to every Savannah Banana event that's in town and they don't have a baseball team.
Probably, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I have no idea. I think, obviously the Globetrotter shot's a great one. I have no idea. I mean, they definitely need to figure something out, though, because, like you said, it's very clear that whatever they're doing, people love it. They cannot get enough of it. There has to be some element. Obviously, you can't have your shortstops doing backflips as they're about to receive, a ground ball or something like that. But there's got to be some form of elements that they can take, or at least survey the crowd and say what exactly is it the pageantry? Because I think I haven't been to a Savannah Bananas game when they were here at Rayleigh Field, but part of it too is just the environment. Like, it's just the fun. It is the fact that they dance and they, the walk-up songs they have more fun with and things like that.
Dancing.
Now, are you going to get that in an MLB game?
No.
Never. But what about the looseness, the environment can you try and take? There's got to be something that they can take from it.
I don't know. Next on the list, and this
baseball probably doesn't care. MLB is probably just like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's cute.
They do until they don't. Speaking of, I guess, not caring, Deshaun Watson officially has more settled lawsuits than touchdowns since joining the Browns, Chris. I don't know what to do with this. He stinks.
He's terrible. He is absolutely terrible. Every single week you watch him, and I'm like, this is a different person than the guy that we saw win the national title, the guy that we saw throw for like 400 yards in multiple games in his rookie season. He's just not the same guy, and you can definitely understand why, but I cannot wait for 15, maybe we get it sooner than that. It feels like down the line at some point we're going to get some documentary or something where we get a more in-depth look as to what exactly went wrong. We know what went wrong, but exactly the inside of how it's affecting him, because that's really the one thing we have not heard. He's not really prevalent on socials, as he shouldn't be, but we don't really know exactly what's going on right now with Deshaun Watson mentally, and I think we can all assume that it is just an absolute circus in his brain right now. So it's really a unique situation. I can't think of a situation that's even similar to what we're seeing here.
Yeah, me neither. Tyrese Halliburton no longer with Nike. He signs with Puma, and we have the audio of his promo with his pops, with his daddy, getting everybody hyped up for his new deal. Here it is.
See him right there?
Yeah.
That's my boy, Tyrese Halliburton. He's been training heads since he was a boy. They told us his jumper wouldn't translate. Really? He ain't no joke. That's a promise. He got something new to show you. Made you look.
We gotta cut that. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
I love it.
Made you look, huh?
Made you
Is
look.
that going to be like his tagline or something like that? That's not bad.
That's actually pretty good.
It's not
one.
a bad tagline. I can't lie. As much as I'd love to hate, that's not a bad.
Well,
like if you just have shirts that say "Made you look," it's not
but
terrible.
I'm thinking back to, I forget the song off the top of my head. They shooting Made You Look because of his jump, the way his jump shot. He's shooting, so he made us look because it's a broke jump shot.
It's so bad. And I was definitely one of the people who said the jumper wouldn't translate. I mean, I said the same thing about Lonzo Ball, though. It's just these weird, like, push shots that are, it's not crazy to say that it wouldn't translate. I understand why he's making it his thing, but.
Yeah, made you look. Well, we're looking for a reason. Yeah. All right, shout out Tyrese. Hopefully, the Puma, and we were trying to think of the other Puma athletes. I know LaMelo hasn't really worked out that well for LaMelo with his ankle situation. I don't know if we're blaming that on LaMelo or the Baller brand shoes. So
Marvin Bagley as well.
So Puma's trying.
The Puma sponsored athletes. Here we go. We have Neymar, of course, the international soccer player. LaMelo Ball, Usain Bolt, DeMarcus Cousins was a Puma athlete.
Still not helping.
Not helping at all. RJ Barrett, Kyle Kuzma.
Okay.
How about Ricky Fowler? Does that
no
intrigue
majors.
you at all? Shout out Christopher Laud, Sergio Aguero. There's a lot of soccer players. Puma's definitely a lot bigger.
What about basketball?
Basketball is
just those guys?
You got Marcus Smart, Kevin Porter Jr. Yikes. Walt Frazier. You got Scoot Henderson. Yikes.
Oh, my gosh.
Kyle Kuzma, RJ Barrett,
So
DeMarcus
Kyle Kuzma's
Cousins,
their biggest
LaMelo Ball.
athlete. Or I guess LaMelo.
I mean, it might be Tyrese now. I mean, crazy enough, Tyrese really might be the face of Puma basketball these days. Because I don't know. I mean, you just don't know what's happening with LaMelo Ball.
No,
he can't
it's
stay
definitely
healthy.
it's undoubtedly Tyrese.
Yeah. Crazy.
Next.
I will not be buying the Hallie
There
ones.
you go. You should wear the De'Aaron Fox on one foot. And
now you're talking. You're talking. Come on.
What's the name of that gym where everybody plays?
My God. Hardwood Palace.
I pull up to Hardwood Palace. I got the past and the present. Don't play with me like that. All right.
Some C-Web Dadas.
Some C-Web Dadas. They still spinning.
Oh my God.
They still spinning. Well, Walker Buehler's watch isn't spinning anymore. Well, it's not spinning on his wrist anyway. Walker Buehler was robbed yesterday, and he's got to start a game today. Here is the audio from the kind of the news breaking it down on ABC7. Here it is.
Dodgers pitcher Walker Buehler was robbed by a mob at Santa Anita Park. They took his watch, which is reportedly worth more than $100,000. Still unclear when this happened, but we've learned a mob of people surrounded Buehler and his wife, and that is when somebody unbuttoned his shirt sleeve and took the watch. Buehler will be starting for the Dodgers tonight in Game 3 of the National League Division Series in San Diego.
This is kind of crazy. That's on
terrible.
A couple different levels, because I won't tell you why I know this, but Santa Anita Park, and if you watch the video, that's where the horses run. So Walker was, I guess, hanging out, watching some horses. And let me just say, if you ever been to some of these horse race areas, they're kind of, I'm going to miss Golden Gate in Berkeley, which closed down a couple months ago. You get a little sketchy. This is not
wearing a 100K watch in public in general is
and you're wearing a 100K watch around a bunch of people who probably lost money on Seabiscuit.
Right.
I just not something I would do.
That sucks, man. That's also terrible. You should be able to walk.
You
freely,
should.
But,
you should. Speaking of biscuits, Red Lobster CEO is announcing some changes. He's a young dude, and he is making some changes to the franchise. Chris,
Red Lobster?
Are you a Red Lobster guy?
I don't even think I can tell you where there is the near. Oh, I think there might be one in Arden, maybe, but
off Sunrise and Citrus Heights.
There you go.
Really?
See,
You
likes
knew that
a good biscuit.
way too.
My mom used to work there when I was little.
There you go. So here is the new CEO of Red Lobster, Damola.
Yeah, that's the only one.
Adamalokum, and he is talking about some of the changes. And I don't know why this just tickled me as somebody who went to Red Lobster in their youth. The whole thing just tickled me. We got the first minute of his interview with CNN. Here it is.
In the room, when you saw endless shrimp, what did you think?
So that's a very expensive product to give away endlessly. When you have endless shrimp and people are coming in and sitting down at the table and eating for hours as much shrimp as they possibly can, you stress out the kitchen, you stress out the servers, you stress out the host, people can't get a table. It creates a lot of chaos, and you saw a lot of that.
Are you glad that endless shrimp is done? Was that pretty crazy?
Yeah. Food quality is very good at Red Lobster. It has been since its inception. Now, the menu has gotten too big, so we're going to reduce the menu, but in a very intelligent way.
Do you think you guys might need to close more restaurants?
We intend to be done closing restaurants, intend to grow from here.
Grow from here?
In terms of the business, right? There's going to be investments in the product that will take time. Infrastructure investment takes time. Technology investment takes time. There's 545 restaurants, so fixing every broken HVAC and every torn carpet and every chair that needs replacing will take time, but the impact should be felt right away.
This guy's trying to take our shrimp.
Wow.
He's trying to take our endless shrimp, guys. Wow.
I'm allergic.
I can't wait for. Are they gonna you can't rebrand, right? I remember going to Red Lobster, had the lobster in the tank.
In the tank, right?
And I thought, are we eating one of those? I don't even know if I've actually ever had lobster from Red Lobster.
Yeah, I'm even just trying to look at the menu, and it's been so long. Well, he said the menu's too big. I'm trying to see. I mean, there is probably too much stuff,
Are you pasta? Are you Italian?
That's probably the struggle that they are dealing with. And I mean, yeah, I'm seeing they have burgers, they have, they have pastas, they have all these. Yeah, it probably is too much. I don't think I've ever been to a Red Lobster, and I don't think I will go. I'm also allergic to crab and
oh yeah, there's no need. So the endless shrimp is not hidden for you.
Yeah, there's literally one Red Lobster in town, and that is in Citrus Heights, like Nate said, off Sunrise. The next closest one is Travis.
We're going.
There's
We're
one in
going
Stockton,
after this.
too, but-
They got DoorDash.
They do. They do have DoorDash.
DoorDashing Red Lobster
is psycho. That is some psycho stuff. Put some extra biscuits in there for me.
Yeah, can I get some? Man, my biscuit's hard. That's crazy. Coming up next.
Yo.
Coming up next.
That's crazy.
We talk about the rookie wide receivers,
Stiff
how
biscuits.
amazing they look, and we water the biscuits. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat? I don't know. Why? Peer pressure. Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat. Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. So at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a line when you buy two. That's just $60 a month for 2 unlimited lines. So if you're 50 and up, make the switch and save. Come on, you've earned this. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today. Requires 2 lines of service, age validation, and credit approval, subject to system and area limits, taxes, and other fees apply.
Sacktown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sacktown Sports and subscribe.
By the way, my bonus prop talk from yesterday did not hit. Aaron Judge, Chris, I heard something on the broadcast. Aaron Judge, highest strikeout rate, minimum 200 at-bats or 200 plate appearances, highest strikeout rate in the history of Major League Baseball in the postseason. He's just completely different guy, man.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I saw there was an article this morning on ESPN actually about how well players who have historic regular seasons end up doing in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially the short of it is not well. Like there's no real correlation between regular season success for an individual player to them then continuing that through the postseason. Essentially, they found 8 MVPs, and only 3 of them ended up winning the World Series that they ended up tracking.
Well, it's not affecting Shohei.
Yeah, let's see here. Narrowing it down to 8 more. 8 of the MVP winners reached the World Series. Here's how they fared through the postseason. Only 3 of those 8 ended up winning, and again, only really Jose Altuve performed well. Chris Bryant performed well. Buster Posey did okay. He hit 200, so I don't even know if I'd really consider that doing well. And then Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, of course, was absolutely lethal in that 2002 playoff run, but not much correlation between regular season and postseason success. So Mookie Betts is also somebody.
Oh, well, Mookie's been terrible. Yeah. And, you know, Mookie was my favorite player until he went to the Dodgers. So I'm just, you know, I don't want to watch him. It's tough. I don't want him to fail, but I want the Dodgers to fail. So, you know, that's the conundrum that
something in the air over there
I tend to live in. And let me real quick before we get to this wide receiver stuff, Chris, have you been on a day like today?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and yes, they really, back the Kings up with this preseason basketball thing. But on a day like today, you got Dodgers-Padres, who everybody is talking about. Dodgers-Padres. You got Dodgers-Padres today. What else do you have? And you have Mets-Phillies. Mets-Phillies starts at 2:08.
Yeah.
Dodgers-Padres starts at 6:08. Are any part of you as the casual baseball fan, no basketball, no football, please tell me you're at least firing up Dodgers-Padres.
Yeah, I mean,
this gets hard.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I would say that I will at 2:00, since we're off at 2. I will definitely put on that Phillies Mets game. I'm gonna try and watch Dodgers Padres, the entirety of it. I'm definitely gonna tune in at least for some part of it, but I'm gonna try and watch the entirety of it.
You don't got to sit down for all 4. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no,
it's there.
It's there. It's definitely there. And on a day like today, this is where the baseball playoffs should feel like to everybody. Like, okay, we're really we are in it now. It's a 1-1 series.
Yeah,
both games, both really big. Both games featuring big market teams. This has to be the night where it feels like, all right, baseball, this is your little window here where you guys take control and you're the face of sports right now. And I have faith. I mean, you got some big names, big hitters. I feel like in a deciding game for both of these two teams, I definitely think we're going to get something memorable tonight. And for those watching at home as well, Game 5 for WNBA, Connecticut Sun against Minnesota Lynx as well.
There you go. All right. Let's get to this stat, which is ridiculous, guys. NFL rookie wide receiver. Wookie receivers looking amazing so far.
I'm going with Chewy
this season. This is from Ian Hartitz, and he says only 3 players have over 300 air yards over the last 2 weeks. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, and Rome Odunze. That's insane.
That's crazy. I mean, and the fact that they're all rookies. I mean, it's crazy how just every single year these guys just pop up and they're ready from day one. And Malik Neighbors has completely shifted that offense in just the month that he's been in it. I mean, from having the multiple touchdown game to just being really Daniel Jones's favorite and only target besides Wan'Dale Robinson, who's getting all the underneath stuff. They've been ridiculous. Marvin Harrison has been pretty much as advertised. I think they want to give him the ball more than they actually do. I mean, Rome Odunze is really the only one that hasn't quite popped, but even then you see some signs. This is definitely a good underlying number for people who are, maybe not so sure on him. It's crazy how all 3 of the receivers ended up panning out. It feels like at least one of them usually is the Jalen Reagor of the group.
Yeah.
You'll have one where it's just like that guy. Well, there was the Raiders pick as well, but
yes, but that's not where I was going. Go ahead, Nate.
I was just going to say, to kind of weed out all the other factors, which of the rookie wide receivers would you pair with Mahomes? To be,
if you could,
to be the most
Marvin
dangerous.
Harrison.
Marvin that would be insane.
Yeah,
I think
maybe
Malik
the
Neighbors,
sneak. Yeah, I was going to say the sneak answer might be Malik Neighbors, but I think Marvin Harrison could be even better. He just is in a not awesome offense.
I think Malik Neighbors elevates a receiver. Look at Daniel Jones. But I think Marvin Harrison is the top off. This is the kind of best.
I think Keon Coleman has shown flashes as well.
But Xavier Worthy,
Xavier Worthy,
Brian Thomas, he's incredible.
So
he's
there's
flown under the radar.
Couple ways to look at this, guys. The first way we can look at this, and we know about the tragedy with Ricky Pearsall.
Right.
First way we could look at this is
by the way, Ricky Pearsall still not cleared to practice.
No, they thought he was going to be, but he wasn't. First way we can look at this is, could Ricky Pearsall end up being the Jalen Reagor? There were question marks before the tragedy.
Yeah.
We understand that. That's number 1. Number 2, let's say he's not, and let's say he cooks. Then you sit there and you think, again, to that same point, did you have to pay Brandon Ayuk? And maybe it's
damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Well, and maybe
it's true.
Maybe it's, hey, we don't mind paying Brandon Ayuk because we're just going to go with Debo. And the way this offense runs, it's going to be a Debo day. It's going to be a Pearsall day. It's going to be a Ayuk day. So maybe this is what the Niners always had planned, just minus the drama. And it's just Debo at, what is he, 28, 29 years old? Go help out a young quarterback that needs some dump offs and some gadget plays.
No, I think it's a very fair question. Like, I mean, either way, it feels like the Niners are going to find themselves in either side of the conundrum, right? Yeah, I think it's a really, really fascinating thing, and we'll see. I mean, it's not fair to Ricky to kind of put any of that on him yet, but yeah, I mean, it definitely begs the question, because it just feels like the law of averages say that not all of them are going to hit, right? Like, not all of them are going to be the correct choice, and you know, there could be reasons why it doesn't happen, but it definitely might be Ricky Pearsall that's the one that just doesn't live up to the draft billing of being a first round pick, and we'll see. But if anything, I mean, if you're the Niners, you can't think of it that way. You just have to think of it as, see, this is proof that these receivers, they're all so ready to come in, and you just have to believe that that's going to be the case with Ricky too.
Coming up next, we asked a question. We want to hear from you, 916-339-1140. Text line, Sack Chat, call line. What league would benefit from this specific championship the most? We'll give them out. You tell us where we're right. You'll tell us where we're wrong. Stiles Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sacktown Sports at sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Tuesday forecast looks bright and sunny. We'll have light winds throughout the daytime, and it's still going to feel very summer-like with high temperatures today in the mid to upper 90s, expecting overnight lows to drop back to lower 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
DC here for Folsom Lake Kia, where they make car shopping easy with a huge selection of new Kia models, low payments, and zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia, your trusted dealer in Folsom for over 25 years. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Don't let summer energy slip away. Live the active life you love year-round with a personally fit arch support system from the Good Feet store. Precision engineered to support all four arches. Good Feet puts your feet in a more ideal, comfortable, and pain-free position. And Good Feet arch supports are now HSA and FSA eligible. Book a free fitting at goodfeet.com or come in and get a free pair of OS First Performance socks. Free. Normally a $25 value at the Good Feet store.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
Hey, Aggie fans, head coach Tim Plow here. October 12th is a date you're not going to want to miss. It's homecoming here in Davis, and we face off with rival Cal Poly at 4 p.m. for the Golden Horseshoe. It's also Junior Aggiette Day. So, kids, if you want to perform on the field with our cheer and dance teams, visit ucdavisaggies.com/tickets and sign up today. Let's pack the stands for this rivalry game and celebrate what it means to be a part of this Davis community. Go Ags.
Lead generation is one of the most important aspects of any marketing campaign. Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products or services to them. Go to aimyourdigital.com today. aimyourdigital.com.
Sacktown Sports. Call or text 916-339-1140.
Cooked up this question, and I think you can go in a lot of different directions. We can go relatively speaking. We can go just all in all. So here's the question. We have different leagues, and we have teams. We have teams that we think would help the league the most if they won. So Chris, Nate, myself, we haven't really discussed who we think is the answer.
Right.
But here are the choices. Major League Baseball, the Yankees winning. Does that help the league the most in terms of popularity, revenue, this, that, the third? NBA, the New York Knicks. The NFL, the Dallas Cowboys.
Wow.
The WNBA, oh yeah, the Indiana Fever, and I believe Nate threw in this UFC. Nate or Chris, you threw in the UFC.
Yeah. Yep.
What would be the equivalent? Just McGregor just winning a huge fight.
Yeah, if McGregor can win the belt back, I think
Okay.
that would. I think that's probably their biggest star, even still.
They might even do that stupid BMF belt with him, and that would be okay, but not on the same level.
No, he's got a
I don't see him fighting for a title.
I don't think so.
Ever
but just
again,
for the
but
sake
yeah,
of the action.
they would love it. I think if he wins one more fight, they'd be like, all right, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who he beat. We'll throw you title fight.
Well, let's throw it around the room, and then we'll
Yeah.
hear from the text line, Sack Chat, and if there are any callers. I think, relatively speaking, it's funny because I'd have to say the Yankees because I'm just thinking about it relative to everything else. Like the NFL is already winning.
Right.
So the Cowboys winning helps, but how much more
percentage-wise,
can the NFL take over? And I guess you can make an argument for the Knicks, I think, with the NBA, but to me, just because the NFL, it's kind of a cop-out because the NFL is already winning. I just don't think the NFL can be the answer. But I'm gonna go with it's either the Yankees or you could throw the Fever in there, to be honest.
So this is like the biggest percentage jump the league will get in popularity, right? So
well,
like,
no, I don't think we can do it that way because I think that'd be Fever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be Fever.
that makes me think the Fever too.
I think just take it however wherever you
Yes.
want to take it. However you want to use the word benefit to your advantage, use it.
I'm going to use the word then, and I think I'm going to go 100% Yankees. I think they're the big name.
I thought you were going to say Fever.
No, I'm a big. I'm not a big baseball guy. It is always interesting when you get those giant franchises on the fringe sports you don't care about a ton. I think that drags in. Like even boxing, wasn't super into boxing. I'll jump in on a Mayweather fight, 10 years ago, whatever. I would definitely pay attention. And then there's always a lot of Yankees fans everywhere. So it's like, maybe I'm watching for Jason and Frank here in the office and I'm just enjoying it. I know a lot of people hate the Yankees, but they're also like a historic franchise. It's fun to watch too. I think it's Yankees.
I'm going to say it's Cowboys. Only because the Cowboys haven't been at that level of success my entire lifetime. And I just think about how crazy it is when any team, think about the Niners last year. Now think about if it was the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I just think it would be so almost unimaginable. Like the Cowboys haven't really been at that level in the social media era. I can't imagine the good and the bad of if the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl. You mentioned people watching the Yankees because they might not like them. Imagine how many people are going to hate watch the Super Bowl only to see the Cowboys try and embarrass themselves.
Yeah.
There is going to be unparalleled viewership if the Cowboys are in it. And that's it could be the Cowboys against the Jaguars. I really don't think it matters. If the Cowboys are in it, I think it's going to do huge. And if they win, I could definitely see how, like you're saying, how much bigger can the NFL get? I just think the conversation around football would almost be, it would be to the point where I think people would be sick of it. I think, people already hate how much people talk about the Cowboys. I think if they were to win, it would actually be insufferable all of the storylines, because it would be all anybody would want to talk about is how long is this going to last? What's the championship window? And where does Dak fall, or whoever the quarterback is, fall in the all-time Cowboys
dynasty? Dak
Jerry Jones, is Jerry Jones the greatest owner in sports or whatever? Look at the franchise valuation, all that stuff. I literally cannot imagine how crazy it would be if the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. Like I cannot fathom just all the coverage, the people that you would see there's already, you see Cowboy fans all over the place. If they were actually successful, oh my gosh, you're going to need a jorts shortage at Target or something like that. It's going to be out of control.
And what are those Jordans? The blue,
I think they're 12s or something like that. Yeah, there's some Jordans that are the navy and white ones.
There'd be a TV shortage too if they lost the Super Bowl.
Yeah, people just running
a
through.
Bullet shortage too. How many people shooting their TVs?
Yeah,
I think you kind of made the argument, like part of it, Chris, like arguing with yourself there about oversaturation too, and people would be annoyed with the NFL if the Cowboys won.
Yeah, it might not be a benefit. I mean, I think all publicity is good publicity, but I do think it would reach the point to where it would probably turn people. I mean, think about how many people hated seeing Taylor Swift.
I was just about to say that.
But prior to that, Chiefs made all that money.
Yeah,
and the Cowboys, I think people would probably be tired of that, but by that time, they're still making a ton of money.
Yeah,
they're still making
ridiculous.
a ton of money. To me, no shout to the WNBA. Are we talking about? I guess who would be the least?
It would be huge for them. It would be the Fever would be that. The Fever is probably the right answer by the letter of the question, but I think it's just. I think there could be some oversaturation there too.
Fever's definitely my number 2. I'm struggling to decide what would be the least.
Let's go with
the Knicks and Conor McGregor.
Or we can think of other leagues too. These are just the leagues that kind of came to the top of my head.
I think NBA is.
It might be the
probably
Knicks.
The least.
Yeah, I think it might be the Knicks. I don't know if anybody.
Are they box office enough for Stephen A? I don't know.
It gets talked about, but I don't know if it really impacts the casual viewer.
We like watching the videos of their clips, like, it's the Knicks. Yeah. But
we would hate that. I mean,
I think New York would love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
by proxy, I think everybody else would kind of by osmosis.
Right. How much do we care about? Does New York still run, I guess, what's cool in this day and age? And I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it would definitely be talked about because, like you said, there's so many media entities out in New York, and just the fanfare would be nuts. But is it any different than if the Lakers win? Like,
I was literally going to say, Lakers win with Bronny and LeBron. Is that better for the? What would Adam Silver prefer, that or the Knicks?
Yeah, right.
I don't know.
Oh man,
I think all these other situations, there's no other answer.
This is a different
because Cowboys, I'm not counting the Chiefs because the Chiefs are always there.
Yeah. This is a different conversation though, but like what team would Adam Silver want to win the NBA?
Probably Lakers.
It's Knicks or Lakers.
That's
probably
it.
Because I don't even think it's the Celtics.
No, I don't think it's the Celtics.
I think it's the Lakers.
It's Knicks or Lakers.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
I mean, you don't think Warriors?
Because I think a great point that Chris.
They already milked that.
Yeah, I think a great point that you brought up, Chris, was the random fans, right? The Cowboy fans everywhere. You see Laker fans that have never been to LA. I don't know how many Knicks fans you see that have no connection to New York.
I don't see a lot of Knicks stuff here, and I know we're the farthest possible place.
Right.
But
you can go anywhere and see LA Lakers stuff.
Green Bay Packers. There's that like team. There's that concentrated amount of teams that spread everywhere. I think Dodgers stuff is all over too.
I saw this guy
Dodgers
yesterday.
Huge, but they just won also, and it feels like the Yankees have the gap. Like all of these teams, I think the key is you have to have the championship gap.
Dodgers are a good shout, but I think Yankees. But here's again to that point, and maybe you can make the argument that there are a lot of LA hats. But out here, Nate, you don't see Knicks stuff, but you see Yankee hats.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean?
Yankee is, dude. I have a friend doesn't care about sports at all. No care about sports whatsoever. He's got a Yankees hat, and it's crazy. It's just that breaks barriers for sure. The only other team like that, that's coming to mind is the Raiders. And we haven't said the Raiders names once, but those are brands. It's not the Raiders. I just could not imagine that. That would be.
I mean, that'd be great.
That would be crazy.
It'd be great for those fans. I don't know if anybody outside of the fandom would.
Who is the number 2 team for the NFL then?
The Lions?
No.
Yeah, it's the Lions.
It might be the Niners.
It might be.
I think there's oversaturation. I think you really felt it this last year with the Niners. I
Yeah.
think there's too much oversaturation. I think people are sick of them.
Jets might be the Jets. There's a lot of Jets. That's New York, but there's a lot of Jets
any of those
fans out
teams,
there.
Jets, you could throw the Eagles in there.
I think the Jets going into last season were the prime time, like probably.
If they would have
NFL's
won
like-
last year, yeah, it would have set the roof off of that.
Obviously, I'm talking before Aaron,
right?
Went out there.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Chris is with the NFL.
Yeah.
Nate and I are with MLB. So I think we would arrange this MLB with the Yankees, NFL with the Cowboys.
Yeah. WNBA
with the Fever.
WNBA would get such a
It would be
boost.
insane. It would be insane.
I would watch
I'm
every
okay with
minute of
putting
that
them two.
finals. I would watch every minute of that
I'm okay
finals.
with them putting them number 2 because it's all relative.
Yeah, I'm fine with them number 2.
Cowboys 3, and then I'd put Knicks, McGregor 4 or 5. Yeah,
Is there a
I don't
college
know.
football team? Maybe college basketball. Obviously, if Duke wins or UNC wins,
College
Bama
football.
without.
I don't know if Bama hits anymore.
What about
though, 'cause
Notre
you win
Dame?
So many.
It could
Notre
be
Dame.
Notre Dame.
It's
Notre
probably
Dame.
Notre Dame. If Notre Dame were to win a title, I think it would be. I think it'd probably
They go
be
in
the
with
biggest.
2014.
Because even like Texas, I don't know.
Texas.
Like Texas is obviously just big for Texas. It's their national sport, but
I
don't know if that hits outside of Texas.
I would have
at
said
that level.
honestly, don't sleep on Michigan, but Michigan just won.
Yeah.
and it didn't
Arch
really
Manning
feel-
though winning that title would be
That's
that
would be
puts it over.
huge.
And then
That would be huge.
I mean, Davis winning the Big Sky.
Yeah,
everyone-
right.
916 wants to shout for team number 2 would be the Packers. I think
Yeah,
a lot of
for
Packer
sure.
fans,
Undeniably. Yeah,
You know,
unfortunately.
a lot of
Yeah,
Way too many.
we've talked about it
Way
before,
too
but it's like Packers, Steelers,
Yeah.
maybe Giants, Cowboys. Obviously, are like those teams that break boundaries
It's
throughout the
unfortunately
whole
probably the Packers.
country.
I think that's a good shout.
Yeah.
I think that's
Packers.
unfortunately.
Yeah, that's right there. All right. Coming up next, we got prop talk, but we're doing it a little differently
Ooh.
today. We're picking between Major League Baseball and WNBA. We've been ice cold with the NFL, or at least we can go over what we did in the NFL. I think I was close to hitting, but I don't know if I did. And then we can get into the prop talk for tonight. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My check engine light's on?
That could hurt your gas mileage. The AutoZone free fix finder service can help find the fix for free.
Get in the zone. This whole report for free?
That's right. Printed and on your phone for free.
Get in the zone. But what if the fix is too tough?
We'll recommend a local shop. Fix Finder, only at AutoZone.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Maida Chevy saves you $12,000 off MSRP on every new half-ton Silverado RST in stock after rebates. All of them. Silverado blowout on now at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details. Ends 10/31/24.
Live and local. This is Sacktown Sports.
Time for a little bit of prop talk. Doing a special prop talk today with WNBA and Major League Baseball. I don't know if I hit, guys, because Alvin Kamara, I know he was at 30 yards, 30 receiving yards, and I think the over-under was 34.5. So I don't know if he ever got to the 34.5 once Derek Carr was injured. Derek Carr getting an MRI. I haven't seen anything come through, Chris. I don't know if you did.
Not on an update on Carr's injury.
Yeah, no update on Derek Carr's injury because, of course, that is connected to the Davante Adams situation and just what is going to happen there. As, of course, if you're just now joining us, Drive Guys up next. But Robert Saleh out as head coach of the Jets. He was walked out by security, and just for context, everybody wants to know whether or not Adam Gase was walked out, and he was not. Guys, this also just came out 10 minutes ago, before we get to our prop talk. Not great news coming out of Santa Clara. Talanoa Hufanga tore ligaments in his wrist.
Oh, man.
He will be out at least a month. The 49ers are deciding whether or not to put him on IR.
Wow. That's terrible. He just came back, too. I mean, he literally just came back. And, you know, Jair Brown did really good, I thought, in his replacement. But, you know, obviously I think you want Hufanga out there. His physicality and just the way he plays. It's just a playmaker. Dude is literally just the definition of a playmaker. And, that's a loss that you just don't want to have is, you know, you're kind of trying to find yourself in the middle of the
season. I might be on the contrary.
Really?
A bit, guys? Yeah, I didn't really get to talk about Huff much this week. I don't think he's been there, really, even in last season before the ACL. I think people get lost in the sauce, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. They see the hard hitting, and they see the hair, and he works with Polamalu in the off season, and they go, "Oh, that's Troy Polamalu." He's not. He's really not. He missed a very easy screen tackle this last weekend that went for a first down, I believe, on James Conner. Just bounced off of him. I think Malik Mustafa has been a pretty solid stand-in for him as a rookie. Malik Mustafa has all the tools to be there. I think this is, when it comes to cap and moving forward, I think if Hufanga does get back, he could be a valuable trade asset. I'm not, it's mean to say, I'm not as devastated as one might think from this.
Well,
like there's a silver lining.
Yeah, I think what has happened with Hufanga, and probably due to the injury, seems like he hit a bit of a wall. And he was turning into kind of a one-trick pony in a way. And as he was supposed to improve throughout his career, he's been unable to stay on the field. Right. I think it's that simple. So, it seems as if it looks like Kyle Shanahan's media availability is all coming out right now. So it's all coming out kind of as we're.
I believe 2:30 today. Emil will be covering it. We're recording Return of the Empire right after. I think that's when the stream starts.
Okay, well he's talking right now because things are coming out right now.
Maybe it wraps up around. Emil could have been.
He was lying to you.
He was lying to me.
Kyle Shanahan, Kyle Shanahan on how long Jake Moody will be out. It's a high ankle sprain, so it's usually about a month. We are not exactly sure yet. IR is an option.
Jeez,
so
man. It's not even an S in Ionescus.
So yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, you don't want to be missing your kicker. I mean, again, especially when you're kind of trying to find yourself, and you could take as many points as you'll get. And I mean, the last thing the Niners need right now is more instability or more question marks in the special teams area. We'll see. I mean, they signed Matthew Wright. Don't really know much about him. Not really one of those super journeyman kickers who's been on 7 teams in 12 years or anything like that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It could really be a really big impact for how the season goes.
Kyle Shanahan says he's been really happy with Nick Sorensen and his game plan and play calling.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see, right? We'll see at the end of the year.
Yeah. I mean, what is he supposed to say there, right?
No,
I mean,
totally. Yeah, exactly. Especially
after what happened with Salah.
Right. Everybody knows.
He's got to quiet down the noise, and that's exactly what he's doing. You have right here limited today Ward with a knee bruise. Okay, this is the Niners practice status. Obviously, we just talked about Jake Moody and Talanoa Hufanga. Ward with a knee bruise, Conley still with that oblique, Kittle ribs, and Warner with an ankle.
That's been the one lone bright spot for the Niners D, are those two or Lenore and Travarius Ward, in my opinion. I think they've been showing up when the rest of the defense has been absolutely mediocre at best. So I think if he misses any time, devastation, especially against DK Metcalf.
Yeah, limited though. So
he'll probably play, but
feels like a short week. But
I was gonna say, do we know how the schedule changes for them with the schedule with the week with the early week? Is it like I would assume they're still gonna practice tomorrow, but I would also assume that they fly out tomorrow with it being Thursday game. I know it's in Seattle. Maybe you fly on Thursday.
Yeah,
I mean, you definitely aren't flying on Thursday morning.
Yeah.
I would think they fly tomorrow. So.
Yeah, maybe you walk through tomorrow.
Right. So those injury, I was more just saying for the injury report, like that's something that you actually really need to pay. Like it's not just your typical, Monday, Tuesday practice. Like, they'll get out there at some point this week.
Right. It's not, you don't have the same timeline.
Exactly. Much shorter cushion.
Right. So you're basically, are we going to find out whether they will practice before game time? So I mean, it's crazy, guys, because when you get the Thursday, when you get that Thursday game, it helps because you get the short week and then you get the longer week.
Right.
But they're still unable to take advantage because the Chiefs have the Chiefs don't play again until the 20th.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs will still have more rest than them. I don't think the Chiefs will be healthier than them, but they will have more rest. So that's some of the stuff coming out of the Kyle Shanahan presser, and I'm sure more is going to come out, and the Drive guys will have all of that for you. Real quick, he did say, I was pretty shocked when asked about the Jets firing of Robert Saleh. This stuff throws you off, especially when they're competing for first in the division and they're ranked up there on defense. That is what he is.
It's really, I mean, if we actually look at this realistically, thinking that it's totally a pipe dream, thinking that the Niners would fire Sorensen and hire Robert Saleh after he was fired.
It's insane.
Is insane. And I know Mike Silver had to ask. I'm not putting it on. Like, he did a good job. Like, he's doing his job, obviously. You have to ask that question. But just fans just being like, oh, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. That's oblivious nonsense.
What's wrong with learning a whole new defense in the middle of the season?
Exactly.
I don't see what's crazy about that at all.
Well, I don't know. Oh man, I don't know. Do you guys think Sorensen will get fired and they'll put Staley in that spot?
Not this season.
I think that it might be open. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season there's at least a conversation.
I meant this season. I meant before the season ends. Do you axe?
No, I don't think so. I won't say no chance, but I wouldn't think so. I would think the defense has to have a couple really, really bad performances for you to make a change like that.
With the way Wilkes was let go last year, it makes me think that there's no way in heck the Niners would fire a defensive coordinator during the season, because it seemed like they wanted him out from day one.
Yeah.
And they let it ride. I know they didn't have an opportunity like this with a guy like Staley behind him or whatever that they really love.
They're not doing it.
No, I don't.
I mean, we know the numbers just from guys getting, cherry picked and picked for head coaching positions and things like that. So you can't.
Yeah.
The reason they went with him is because they were hoping to have him for a long period of time.
Yes, they did. Man, it's so you guys think Doug Peterson is the next one out, next coach out potentially?
He might be. I think he's definitely on deck in my opinion. I mean, there's maybe some other. I mean, we don't know. Like you said earlier, Alan, like the Antonio Pierce thing seems to be more of a Pierce versus Davante thing than like a Pierce has lost the locker room and
Canales in Carolina.
I was going to say I forgot his name.
When these
give
teams
him
stink,
5 games,
right? When these teams stink, and they stink. What do you expect? All right, I do want to do some of this prop talk, though.
Yeah.
Chris, I got one for you. And in baseball, my philosophy in baseball is to go for gold. I'm not going for one total base because in baseball you only get four shots.
How about you do a run? Might as well do a run.
Right.
Prop, right.
I mean, I'm not doing that. So what I'm doing here, Chris, Kyle Schwarber, I'm going for gold. And I think that they go to Citi Field, and he's been, a little quiet. I think he likes to quiet the crowd out there.
He loves the postseason too.
I wanted to go Bryce, but I'm going to go Kyle Schwarber. Ding dong, Donkey Kong.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm going to go with the WNBA route. I'm going to go with Nafisa Collier. She has been an absolute monster. She kind of had a 40-point game in the last series. And she's had a really good last 2 games against the Connecticut Sun, 26 and 29 points these past 2 games after really struggling to start the series. Her over-under's at 21.5 points. I think she's going to go absolutely stupid. I'm going with Nafisa Collier over 21.5 points.
Okay.
Book it, lock it.
There you go. And it is the first time, I think, in MLB history that all the division series are tied.
Oh, really?
1 game apiece.
That's cool.
Yes. And I'll just give my predictions for
why not
for today's games, Chris. I have I don't know, man. I want the Phillies to win for a couple different reasons. So I'm going to go Phillies and Dodgers, Padres. I don't know. The Dodgers to me are interesting because you see Flaherty going back and forth with Machado, but the Dodgers, they don't show. I mean, Shohei shows emotion.
Yeah.
It's weird. I mean, they're not, because somebody said, oh, well, with this whole thing, maybe the Dodgers will have a chip on their shoulder going back to San Diego.
They need Justin Tucker back. Justin Tucker.
Oh, Justin Turner.
Justin Turner back.
They just don't really strike me as that team. I think that the Padres are going to come in. I think the Dodgers might get them in game 4, but I think the Padres come in kind of riding. The party at Petco. Don't let Tatis go Bambo again. I think
today could be electric at Petco.
Yeah.
If they win
which
this tonight,
could work
it's
against them.
Amazing. Oh, for sure.
If the Dodgers come up and go, put a 2 spot up in the first, second inning, that could change everything into, we know ourselves from even here in Sacramento with the Kings sometimes, but I'm going Phillies and Padres.
Do we think that this is the series where the Dodgers pull a Dodger, or do we think that they, string their fans along a little longer?
I think if they lose this game, they could very well pull a Dodger because they'd be looking at elimination.
Oh my God, I would love it so much. There's nothing better.
All right. Thanks for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Drive Guys up next. Whitey Gleason still out, but Kyle Draper's got you with Jay Johnson. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, like the beam.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.